Kilkenny supporters in fine voice already. It's just gone 8:30, an early start to All-Ireland final day.
I'd say by the start of the game there'll be a few butterflies, all right, but as at this moment in time we're not too bad.
They're really good, although they're only relaxed and they seem to be grand.
Confident?
Yeah, no, just 50-50. Hope things go well and I hope we get the result, that's all.
Well, I think the winning is the full forward. If the forward strikes at all, DJ, PJ Delaney, and what's the man's name, Ger? Charlie Carter. They strike form at all. I know Offaly have good backs, but if DJ strikes form at all, I say we win by 2 points.
Traditionally, the Offaly hurlers depart for Croke Park from the centre of the square here in Burr, County Offaly. But this morning, new manager Michael Bond has broken with tradition. He's brought the team outside the town to the County Arms Hotel. Team captain Hubert Rigney was one of the first Offaly players to board the bus for Croke Park. Simon Wheelahan was preparing himself for his second All-Ireland final this year. But his Bird teammate Gary Hannafy was still waiting for news on whether or not he will be the player to fill the vacant right-half forward line position.
We know who's playing there, but we haven't told the player yet. So in fairness, we'll wait and we'll tell the player first.
The Offaly team set off from Birr just after 10 o'clock. The party will stop over at the Spa Hotel in Lucan on their way to Croke Park.
Cats, Kilkenny, of course, who've lost the minor. And it wasn't such a good start to the weekend for them either, because Michael Duxie Walsh lost in the handball final last night.
For the 1998 All-Ireland Senior Hurling Final.
Yes, the Leinster champions on 56 occasions, bringing their own particular brand of hurling magic back to Croke Park, where they're playing in their 47th All-Ireland final. They're just one of 3 counties, of course, whose winning record reaches double figures. Cork with 27 wins, Kilkenny with 25, Tip with 24. And you know, at the start of the year, even as late as May, experts in Kilkenny were saying to us, forget about a Cats victory this year in the All-Ireland. DJ had retired and come back again, but generally something was perceived to be missing. And was that ingredient basic confidence? Canis Brennan there, Andy Comerford looking tense, Titch Phelan there as well, Liam Keown. And we go right down the line there. They have tradition, they have freshness. Remember, just one major match, the semi-final of the All-Ireland, played by the Cats into the final. That was to decide whether it should be Niall Maloney or somebody else at top of the right. It's somebody else who's got the spot, number 18, Kenny O'Shea. They return back into the All-Ireland final day. 6th time ever to compete for the Liam McCarthy Cup on finals day. An amazing season is drawing to a close. Favoured by many for provincial honours, they dethroned Wexford, playing poorly with a late goal. Lost to Kilkenny, controversially. The colourful Babs Keating parted company with them then. Michael Bond, largely unknown at that time, came in for John Troy and his team. That's Simon Wheelahan there. Stephen Byrne, who was absolutely magnificent in the 3rd match in that series against Clare. So too, Joe Dooley. And even after they came through the quarter-final stage with a dull victory over Antrim, they finally got the measure of the defending All-Ireland champions Clare, who seemed weary after their exertions. And now the big question to be asked of Michael Dignam and Johnny Pilkington and Kevin Martin: can Offaly reproduce their Semple Stadium form? That is the big, big question. And Kevin's sister Frankie is watching this on honeymoon in Portugal. Well, Offaly's vacancy at half forward was a tricky one to fill. Did they go with Paddy Mulher, whose preparations were ruined for the last 2 matches because of the death of his father, or Gary Hannafy?
The Leinster final, and that, I suppose, obviously a major backdrop to this afternoon's game and the tension that it brings with us. Cyril Farrell, to pick up on the point that Marty Morrissey was talking about there, the condition of the pitch, it cut up very badly in that minor match. Now, before, at the beginning of the programme, before the minor game, you talked about this, and you talked about the heavy sod out there.
Yeah. Michael, I actually walked the pitch early this morning. I couldn't believe it. Now, I know it has rained very heavy here all night, But like it really cut up, and like it's not the fault of the authorities that the pitch cut up, because like you know that's the weather that we have in Ireland. But it begs the question, like, should we put back in actual fact, maybe we should put the calendar the other way around, do the championship more in the summer than we can, because you're leaving yourself open there. You know, these are the two top teams in the country at the moment. They're biggest day of the year, and there's no doubt about like the pitch conditions are not the best conditions that we should have. We saw them on divots, which is very unusual in Croke Park, and you know it's going to suit some players. Usually it suits backs because it kind of slows down that ball a little bit, but you're going to have very little fluent ground hurling.
Of course, President McAleese there, accompanied by Joe McDonough, Ron Common, Luke Glasgow. One man sadly missing the proceedings today from an Offaly point of view is the president of the Offaly County Board. He's Father John McWee of Kilkenny, and he's convalescing at present. Wish well. Martin Hannaby there with the red helmet. And right through then to Brian Wheelahan. Yes, it's going to be interesting to see whether it'll be Brian Wheelahan versus DJ Carey as the match pans out. Johnny Dooley, will he start in midfield? And of course it's Joe Erity, who wear number 11, the giant Gary Hannafy there, John Troy, and of course Joe Dooley, very calm, looking for his third All-Ireland winners medal this afternoon. Well, that's the Offaly team. Now to the match officials, and of course the first for the referee as well. It's his fourth All-Ireland final for Dickie Murphy, but the first time he's refereed the same two teams in the championship finals in the same championship season. He's been refereeing, of course, since his teens, and he's from the Referees Club in Enniscorthy in Wexford, ably assisted today by his linesman Sean McMahon of Clare and Pat O'Connor of Limerick. So on to the Cats, and Tom Hickey, the team captain, just 23 years of age, introducing his colleagues. So much pressure, so much tension. Let's wish them all well. And also the wish to each and every one of the players that they have a really good game. Marvellously talented hurlers of Kilkenny and Offaly. They've trained professionally. They're about to give them their best. There'll be winners, there'll be losers. But can they overcome the inevitable nerves, which are all part of being potential champions? No one wants to fail. So again, to the officials and the players, the very best of luck to everybody. The crowd today, a capacity 65,000. Everybody wants to be here for the final itself. By comparison, in July, the place was half empty for the Leinster final. And of course, only 9,500 bothered turning up for the 1980 Leinster final between the same two. 1887, no final again in 1911. Offaly. And the Offaly team, a quick reminder of that as well, and the various numbers that they're going to wear this afternoon, although somebody like Joe Erity there, number 11, might well be expected to play at full forward the whole series against Clare. Clare still very much in our memories, very much regarded by all and sundry as the unluckiest team of the year. Unlucky that is not to be here, to be come through and take the title. Many people fancy them. Others say you can never write off a Kilkenny team. Such a transformation from 18 years ago when the same counties met in that Leinster final. Not many gave Offaly a chance. Most consider it unwise to bother spending time or money on a game that Kilkenny were expected to win comfortably. They didn't, of course. They lost by just a point in a wonderful match. But what will today bring? As we've seen here, the usual splash of colour. Indeed, a wonderful, colourful exchange, great banter, great noise, and great expectation as well, as the teams continue their parade. Going down now towards the Offaly fans on Hill 16. There it is up on the right. I'm happy to report that both sides are staying behind the band, continuing the tradition, and nobody's breaking away fast. Tom Hickey leading the men of Kilkenny, behind him Joe Dermody. And I just wonder whether Joe is wearing a golden horseshoe, a lucky charm around his neck. It's something that his grandmother, Mrs. Butler, gave to Pa Dillon when Pa played in his first ever All-Ireland hurling final. And last match which has been watched all over the globe today. And wherever you're watching it, hope you enjoy it. Let's hope it's a good one. Johnny Pilkington just retrieving the stick. The giant screen up there in the background, which allows the and listen and join in for our national anthem. beautiful setting. Frank Commons there, just on the left-hand side, former Kilkenny star. So two sides ready to give it everything. And DJ Carey have also switched wings. Referee Dickie Murphy taking charge of his fourth senior final, 1992, 1995, 1997, and now 1998. Michael Duignan's gone to right half forward as the match gets underway, and Joe Erity's gone into full forward straight away, sending in that ball towards Joe Dooley. Joe here challenging the team captain for Kilkenny. They try to make some headway. They've got a great chance. Joe Dermody was out quickly. Billy Dooley was in there, and the referee says, hang on, that's going to be a free out. And already you can see just how soft the ground conditions are down there in front of Joe Dermody's goal. Well, this was a very near thing indeed, as Billy Dooley was coming in, and there was a wild pull, and the referee says free out to Kilkenny, to be taken by Joe Dermody. Joe playing in his sixth championship match, sending it way down. Martin Hannamy comes out here. Two very able defences on view this afternoon. Philly Larkin in midfield, sending it down towards Charlie Carter. Will it be Charlie's day? PJ Delaney trying to get onto it here. First chance then for PJ Delaney, leaving it right in there. DJ Carey's trying to take it up onto his stick. Out it comes, and it's Brian Whalehan who gets it clear. Back again by Canis Brennan. What an atmosphere, what a start. Peter Barry driving it back in there. Kevin Keenahan's under it. PJ Delaney trying to get his stick to it. Andy Comerford, and the referee, calm as you like, is in there to see a chop, and it's going to be a free in. Having a word there with the Offaly captain, Hubert Rigney from St. Rynagh's. And the point is made already that Dickie always seems one of the most composed, one of the most relaxed officials ever, no matter what the atmosphere, no matter what the occasion. DJ Carey, first chance of a score. He's outside the 20-metre line. Will he roll it over the bar? Yes, he will. So DJ Carey gets his first point of the match, Kilkenny's first chance. And just look out for his frees when he gets them near the 20-metre line, because he has scored 20 goals in his championship career, and 9 of them have been against Offaly. Stephen Byrne with the puck out towards Gary Hanafy's corner. Breaks loose, however. Peter Barry trying to link up there with Tom Hickey. Erity firing it back there towards Johnny Dooley, looking for the equaliser, but he's put it to the left. So just a reminder again that it's Johnny Dooley who's playing in midfield alongside Johnny Pilkington. Michael Duignan's right half forward. Brendan Ward there in the centre, the Offaly chairman, urging on the side alongside Podge Mulher. John Troy's on the 40, Gary Hanafy's left half forward, and then the full forward line, Billy Dooley's on the right, Joe Dooley's on the left, and in between them it's Joe Erity. This breaks across here towards Brian McAvoy, as I said earlier, switched with DJ Carey. That's Andy Comerford, really works hard for Kilkenny. Peter Barry on his knees, took the ball off the ground with his hand, not allowed, free to Offaly. Here's Brian Whalehan to hit this one. It's his 28th time to play championship. What a servant of Offaly he's been down the years. Canis Brennan trying to catch this one, catching it magnificently, then he's fouled. He started well, Canis Brennan. Batted away the first ball that came his way, caught the second one. Remember, the man he is marking this afternoon is John Troy. Pat O'Neill hitting the free. Over the head there of Brian McAvoy. That's Simon Whalehan, down on his hands and knees. The referee preparing to throw the ball in. Andy Comerford and Hubert Rigney going to be the two contesting for this one. Here comes McAvoy. Chance of another score, and he's put it over the bar. Brian McAvoy's first point, Kilkenny's second. They've made the better start. Following the throw there, it was swiftly taken by Brian McAvoy, showing courage and dash, and a good finish. A man with boundless energy is Brian McAvoy, playing it left half forward. Peter Barry trying to take it away from the attentions there of Johnny Dooley, held further away by Michael Kavanagh initially. Brian Whalehan His stick is broken. He'll need a replacement quickly as we watch Johnny Dooley set off Willie O'Connor. What a match he played in the semi-final. Willie again trying to deny Billy Dooley, sending it in towards his brother Joe, swiftly hitting it on the ground, but couldn't quite get it on target. Now 35 years of age, of course. Joe playing today in his 45th championship match. And some early news now of this match from the sideline from Marty Morrissey.
Well, as we've reported in other games involving Kilkenny, they always have somebody, normally it's Brendan Fennelly up in the stand communicating with the selection committee. Kevin Fennelly has no earpiece today. The man that's communicating with Brendan Fennelly is Dick O'Neill from the Young Ireland's club.
Yeah, I saw him getting wired up before the match, round about 2:45. Tom Hickey almost picked that ball off the ground. Play continues. Peter Barry dispossessed. Comes back to Johnny Dooley, sending it in towards Joe Erity. It goes beyond him, however. Not a good ball in, and it's an easy one in the end for Joe Dermody to take away. Big, huge cheer from the Kilkenny following as he drives it downfield. Kevin Martin blocked down. Nipping in here, DJ Carey on his way. McAvoy's after it, so too Simon Whalehan, and he leaves it in the end for Stephen Byrne. Very astutely picking out Johnny Pilkington. Huge one down in beyond the corner back. Pat O'Neill, however, the fullback, comes across. Can't prevent it going out over the sideline. He's a big, tough customer, Pat O'Neill. Won, of course, one of the man of the match in the 1992 final. Might well have won it in 1993 as well. This to be taken in the end by Johnny Pilkington. Michael Dignan moving infield. Offaly just needing a score now to try and settle them down. So we're almost 6.5 minutes gone. A chance for Pilkington to cut it. Inside it goes there. Joe Erity was whipping on it. Out it comes again. This time Michael Dignan, quick change of direction. And it ends up going over the bar. So Offaly finally get off the mark in the 7th minute of this match. From the sideline ball, in it went in there to Michael Dignan, and he did the rest. Hubert Rigney beaten for this one by Andy Comerford. Comes out to Kevin Martin, great wrist work. Out to John Troy. They need a big game from Troy, just as Kilkenny need a big game from DJ Carey. Joe Dooley, man of the match in the last game, and he sends this one over the bar. That'll do his confidence an awful lot of good. So it's the equaliser, and it's Joe Dooley who provides it. Well, this is how he did it. Went out towards the sideline, took Tom Hickey with him, and had the confidence to strike a beautiful point. Referee is out in the middle of the field there, a player needing attention, and the player in question appears to be Hubert Rigney. Dr. Brendan Lee and Michael Bond there as well, the manager. Blow to the face, clearly. Hubert's fairly quiet by nature, but the captaincy has brought him out a little bit more because he really is quite shy, but if they win the cup, well, he'll have to make the presentation speech. Very, very tense and anxious faces everywhere, but it's a glorious occasion. Hubert's okay. So Joe Dermody once again. Johnny Pilkington contesting this time, beating Philly Larkin to it. Larkin will have to stick very, very tight on Johnny Pilkington, who by his own standards hasn't had a particularly good season. But here he is playing an All-Ireland final, same as Brian McAvoy. Players calling for it. McAvoy striking it with a lot of power. It comes out off the post and out and wide. So just a first wide then for Kilkenny. Brian McAvoy, who's already scored. Michael Bond pacing up and down the sideline. As we said, not an awful lot was known about him before the time he became manager, but he's had a long spell with Galway and with Galway clubs. This is Michael Kavanagh, under 21 full-back as well. Kevin Martin beaten for it there. Sent back up again towards Joe Erity. Between Erity and Pat O'Neill. two big, strong fellows. O'Neill one-handed away. Taken away by John Troy. Back to Joe Dooley. Can he replicate the earlier score? Not on this occasion. Joe a little bit annoyed with himself there because Offaly have already stuck 3 wides. Andy Comerford down there in the centre, hoping to try and really solve that problem for Kilkenny on the 40. Comes back into the face of the Kilkenny backs again. Michael Kavanagh. Johnny Pilkington getting onto it. Nice hand pass back to Brian Wheelahan. Wheelahan, a good low ball inside to Joe Erity. Good play. Erity turning. And that's a fine score. Joe Erity from Burr, the point scorer. But it was the quality of the pass that made it all possible. Johnny Pilkington sensibly looking up, giving the right kind of ball into Erity. Not much the full-back could do about it. And Offaly lead. Hubert Rigney, sun in his eyes at this stage. And the rest of the Offaly backs. Charlie Carter coming in here. It's down! What a start by Charlie Carter. A goal in the 11th minute. Charlie the man to deliver. Questions will be asked about the Offaly backline, however. How was he allowed that latitude? He got it, and he availed of it. It was a wonderful finish by Charlie Carter. A man who got 1-5, of course, in the Leinster final against the same opponents. He's done it again. That's a great catch by Canis Brennan. Kilkenny go back in front again by 2 points. Martin Hannamy knocking that one away. Two great rivals here in Leinster, in this all-Leinster Ireland final. Michael Kavanagh delivering that one inside. Hubert Rigney needing a second, but great ground hurling, getting it forward towards Joe Dooley. Tom Hickey battling away in there to deny the veteran Offaly man. Here's Michael Kavanagh. Martin Hannamy, over his head it went to PJ Delaney. That came off the fullback Kevin Kinahan, and it'll be a sideline ball for Kilkenny. PJ Delaney's dad, of course, Pat, was a star in the past for Kilkenny, and in particular in the 1969 Leinster final involving Kilkenny and Offaly, when Kilkenny won by 2 points. They got 3 goals in the match, and it was Pat Delaney who got all the goals. Andy Comerford. Not a good ball in, but it might come good yet. Charlie Carter hand passing it back out, scoop back out again to Andy Comerford, and that's over. Didn't look too promising when the ball was hit in from the sideline, but Andy Comerford gets his first point of this final to really boost his confidence. Scooped beautifully out there by Brian McAvoy as far as Comerford, and over it sailed. Canis once again making a wonderful catch. Canis Brennan, brother of Nicky, the former manager. Brian Wheelahan trying to scamper after this one, trying to link up with his brother, but is robbed, and it's Charlie Carter who has it, firing the way to top of the right. Just as Kenny O'Shea had moved in, the number 18. So far it's all Martin Hannamy down there. He was being dragged back, and not much doubt about the referee's decision. Most of the balls that have come down there between Kenny O'Shea and Martin Hannamy have been won by the St. Ryna's man so far. But Kenny O'Shea has the ability to get goals. Some switches in the Offaly forward line. Just noticing Joe Erity has gone out to try and cut down on the dominance of Canis Brennan. But here's Brennan once again, leaving it for Pat O'Neill. As you can see, John Troy has now gone into full forward. O'Neill called into action once again, and one-handed scooping it out over the sideline. A man who has prepared assiduously for this particular final, Pat O'Neill. So now it's going to be Johnny Pilkington to take the sideline cut. Offaly needing a little something in front of goal. John Troy trying to provide a bit of a cutting edge for them. Joe Erity beaten to it by the determination of Tom Hickey. Comes out to Peter Barry. Nicely gathered here by DJ Carey. At this stage he's right half forward on Kevin Martin. Sending that one in low towards Charlie Carter. Good ball. Oh, Hubert Rigney, and in the end picked up by Simon Wheelahan for Offaly. Nicely downfield towards Gary Hannafy. Haven't seen much of him in the early exchanges. Trying to get it out of danger. Joe Dooley, 45 metres out, blocked down. Comes to Peter Barry. Sending it back towards Carter once again, who's drifted across to the right-hand side. Now without the Hurley. Beaten. Well, I thought he was going to be beaten, but he got there through sheer determination. Now Kenny O'Shea. Sending it across dangerously. Oh, and it stopped on the goal line. Brian Wheelahan making the clearance. That was very nearly goal number 2 for Kilkenny. Whipped away there by Johnny Dooley. Kilkenny having the edge at midfield. Andy Comerford across here towards Brian McAvoy once again. Again, the Cats come ready. That's a wonderful stroke away that time by Johnny Pilkington. Comes out to Brian McAvoy, sending it in high and sending it over the bar. A second point for Brian McAvoy. Doing well against Brian Wheelahan. And Kilkenny lead 1-4 to 3 points. This was the near miss a couple of minutes ago as Kenny O'Shea was coming in. And just look, ball in the end swept off the line there, and Brian Wheelahan taking it further away from danger. Stephen Burns puck out. Again going towards Gary Hannafy's wing. Big, tall, strapping fellow, but beautiful work here by Philly Larkin. His dad and grandfather, of course, All-Ireland medal winners in the past. DJ Carey getting that one forward was PJ Delaney. Kevin Keenahan. Some of the Offaly backs a little bit loose in their marking. Great determination again by Kilkenny, been illustrated here in DJ Carey. Wants to play a really big game. Kilkenny are perceived to be below their best so far in this championship. Kevin Martin's down injured. Play continues, but the referee has gone in to attend to Kevin Martin. He's back up on his feet again as Canis Brennan is prepared to clear the ball, but he can afford to take a little tea break. Referee is in there, making sure that the Offaly player can get the attention he requires. Kevin Martin happily back up on his feet again. So it's going to be a free downfield, and there's a switch here which has been made, and Brian Wheelahan is going into the forward line at right half forward, and it's Michael Dignan who has gone back to pick up Brian McAvoy. That is an interesting switch made so early in this match. So Brian Wheelahan, one of the best backs in the country, now playing in the forwards. Pat O'Neill magnificently taking this one. Michael Bond has a habit, of course, of switching around his players time and again, trying to keep them on their toes and keep the opposition thinking. That's a sideline ball in spite of the best efforts of Michael Kavanagh. Sean McMahon there, the Clare man, who is on the line at that far side. Johnny Pilkington waiting to hit this one in. 4 points separating the teams. And the referee, I think, wants a bit more urgency. Nicely cut in. Could have ended up anywhere if anybody had been able to get a stick to it, in particular Joe Dooley, who was in there lurking. That's 4 wides now that Offaly are guilty of as we go back to the sideline and Marty. Yeah,
the general belief here is, I think, around us here in the Cusack stand, is that it's a plot, it's a plan by Offaly to move Brian Wheelahan after he did so well against Clare into the attack. But from the Offaly dugout, it appears that they weren't happy with the way Brian Wheelahan was defending against Kilkenny, and it was just decided on the day, this moment, to move him into the attack.
Yeah, let's see how it pans out as Joe Dooley gets it back towards Johnny Pilkington. Now there's a bit of space here. It's Johnny Dooley who hits it, and that should really have been over the bar. Instead, it's away to the left, a shake of the head by Johnny. Well, that was a bad miss. Offaly not playing particularly well. And the Kilkenny mentors, with Kevin Fennelly and his selectors, of course, continuing to issue the instructions. The fellow selectors being Mick McCarthy and Dick O'Neill. So Michael Dignan now at right half back. Couldn't hold on to that one. Andy Comerford trying to get it through somehow. Just got a little flick of it there out as far as Brian McAvoy. Nicely in towards Charlie Carter, but the bounce of the ball a bit unkind for him. Perhaps the pitch at fault there. That's Simon Wheelahan opting to kick that ball away once again towards Gary Hannafy. Billy Dooley, nice pick up. He's going for the score himself, but really The last two misses now by Johnny and by Billy are something that they may well rue before the end of this match, because that was hit from about 70 metres out, and there were players in better positions inside. He won't be pleased. The Offaly inside forward line now reading John Troy, Joe Dooley and Billy Dooley. Meanwhile, back in midfield, Hubert Rigney picking it up, doing well, anchoring the Offaly half-back line. Johnny Pilkington firing it away, and again, and there's hesitation, and that's was that picked off the ground. The referee appealing for it inside there. It perhaps could be a 20-metre free in. They're racing in quickly. And the umpire will certainly have a view on that, I think. Dickie Murphy then signalling, I think, that it's going to be a free in. This is what happened again. So the referee then awarding this free. Now it should be an ordinary 20-metre free in, because the goalkeeper picked the ball off the ground inside that little rectangle. The result of that is an ordinary 20-metre free. That's the rule. Here's John Troy, and he's content to put it over the bar. It also happened in another match earlier this season, as it's won 4-4 points. And I think on that particular occasion was Brendan Commons, the Tipperary goalkeeper, who picked the ball off the ground. And of course the rule is an ordinary free from 20 metres out. So 3 between them. A game which, in spite of that goal by Charlie Carter, has really yet to fire into life. Johnny Dooley, can he inspire the midfield? Nice ball down along towards Joe Dooley. Again the ball bouncing unkindly. Pat O'Neill gets it away as far as Brian McAvoy is settling down to play a good match. Dispossessed this time by Brian Wheelahan. Back to the new man at right half back. Michael Duignan fouled as he was kicking the ball away. And we've seen so many players today resort to kicking it away rather than hurl it away. Free to Offaly. Duignan, hurler and footballer, of course, in the past. Brian Wheelahan, in spite of going into the forwards, has come back to try and hit this free. It's on his own 65-metre line. It's a huge one, and it lands over the bar. A very valuable free converted there by Brian Wheelahan, his first point of the day, and that was from his own 65-metre line. Joe Dermody ready to pop this ball out. Only 2 points separating the teams midway through the first half. Johnny Dooley contesting in there with Peter Barry, and it's Dooley who takes it away. He's received a gash in the head, I can tell you, as well, as he was clashing for that one. Up as far as his brother Billy. Billy lobbing it in again, and this time it's the goalkeeper who has the easy task of coming out and making the clearance. Johnny is going to need attention pretty soon, but he's hurling away right now. Andy Comerford trying to beat Michael Duignan. Johnny Pilkington coming in here. Good sidestep, nice hand pass away. Brian Wheelahan blocked down brilliantly there by Liam Keown. Michael Duignan again. Dispossessed by Brian McAvoy, has looked lively from the very start of this match. Philly Larkin having quite a battle with Johnny Pilkington. Here's Canis Brennan. Delivering it down towards Andy Comerford again. Michael Duignan once more. Trying to keep Brian McAvoy as quiet as possible. Kevin Keenahan from the Sir Kieran's club in Clarine in Offaly. Of course, the colours they wear are the black and amber as well. Nice hand pass by Wheelahan for Troy. John Troy's shot is over the bar, and there's only a point between the teams. A second point by John Troy. Well, that has certainly delighted the Offaly following. Only a point in it then, and the referee is holding up the match so that there can be attention given to Johnny Dooley. The selectors have a little confab on the side. This is that hand pass again, beautifully delivered inside for John Troy. It was a lovely sweet hurler. Over the bar that went. There was an accidental clash just before all of that, and there's a little gash on the forehead there of Johnny Dooley. Again, the medical officer called into action, and very wisely Dickie Murphy holding up the match, making sure that the player can receive proper attention. The biggest game of the year for all of these players, and in some of their cases the most important match they've ever played in their lives, those playing in it for the very first time. Johnny's been through it before. Who will ever forget 1994 in the last 5 minutes of that match against Limerick? Certainly they won't forget it in Limerick. Young and old having a look on here. 10 minutes from half-time. During half-time, of course, the crowd here will be watching the mini sevens games again. And one of Johnny's former colleagues has a daughter playing here. That's Sifa Kelly, who's the daughter of Joachim, and she'll be playing in the mini sevens alongside Brenda Birmingham, former daughter of Brendan Birmingham, former star. Nicely picked up here again by McAvoy, who's a constant thorn. Hubert Rigney delivering it back there towards Billy Dooley against Willie O'Connor. The breaking ball here, and again that tower of strength, Pat O'Neill, comes forward, beating Brian Wheelahan to it, out as far as Kyowan. Pat O'Neill is playing a very good, simple, effective game. At the other end, the other full-back, Kevin Keenahan, put under pressure by PJ Delaney. Charlie Carter is there as well. It comes back towards McAvoy. Ready to take on the Offaly defence. Looking for another one to open up a gap once more. And Brian McAvoy has now got 3 points in this match. He's having the kind of day that Fergie Toohey had here in 1995, and now it's 1-5 to 6 points. 2 points the margin. Given too much room, far too much latitude, dodging all the would-be tackles off his left side, a good score. Canis Brennan for once misses this one, and Philly Larkin is there to help out Peter Barry, his midfield partner, across towards Kenny O'Shea. Low ball inside towards DJ Carey. Carey has got 1 point in this match, that from a free. Here's PJ Delaney. Little block at it by Kevin Keenahan. Keenahan does well. Can't get it away, however, because of the tightness of the marking there by the Cats forwards. Andy Comerford putting the head down, trying to go through. Nice ball outside. Here's a chance. Kenny O'Shea, stop there. Nicely put out. Out it comes towards Michael Duignan. Very good goalkeeping by Stephen Byrne once again. Out it goes towards Gary Hannafy. Canis Brennan. Hannafy coming forward. It's kicked back by Kavanagh in the end. Back towards his own full-back, Pat O'Neill. And there he is against Joe Dooley. Offaly get the verdict. Well, that was a very close call just seconds ago down at the other end as the ball is hurled in there. And once again, it's Pat O'Neill. Going very short this time to Liam Kyowan, who fortunately from a Kilkenny point of view got it up onto the stick. Kicks it towards Philly Larkin, 45 metres out. Beats Johnny Pilkington to it. Towards O'Shea once again, that's a good catch. Martin Hannamy discarding the red helmet. Beaten on this occasion. Inside towards PJ Delaney. DJ Carey there as well. And here comes Kevin Martin. He's had a great year. Very near the sideline. In the end, it becomes a Kilkenny sideline ball in this first ever All-Leinster, All-Ireland hurling final. Gary Hannafy yet to score. Hasn't really had much of a scoring chance so far. Michael Kavanagh from St. Lachtan's to hit this. Straight towards DJ Carey, that one went.
Come on, Carey,
I noticed that Offaly are preparing a player on the far side. There could be a change there pretty soon. That's Martin Hannamy getting that ball out. Willie O'Connor coming across here to it. Philly Larkin. Down towards Kenny O'Shea, going low to try and take that one away was Johnny Pilkington, helped by Hannamy. Offaly get it back. The forwards needing a better service in there. Joe Dooley trying to make something of it. Brian Wheelahan coming onto it. This is a scoring chance for Wheelahan, and he puts it over the bar. That's a second point now for Brian Wheelahan, the first from a huge free from distance, and this one from play, making it 1-5 to 7 points. In other words, the margin is down once again to the minimum, and all as a result of this nice bit of play here by Brian Wheelahan. Got away from his man, who is Liam Kyowan, and put it over the bar. And it seems like we're going to have a change, and Marty will tell us about it.
Yes, indeed, Chair. Well, the Offaly selectors delayed selection because of Gary Hanafy's flu. Unfortunately, Gary Hanafy didn't really perform that well. He's been just taken off, and the man that's on is Paddy Mulhare. So
Mulhare in, and Mulhare operating at left half forward. It's Johnny Dooley has to thunder his way out now with a knee or a leg injury. He's been in the wars in the opening half hour of this particular match. Hoping that DJ, I'm sure, will really blossom as the game progresses. The faithful from Kilkenny against the faithful county from Offaly. So Brian Wheelahan, this free from just about a metre ahead of where he converted the earlier one. This is low, could have gone anywhere. Keown has it. So with 5 minutes to go to half-time, it's Willie O'Connor who delivers a huge ball downfield. Andy Comerford trying to make it his. Real stalemate situation. Finally knocked ahead by Philly Larkin towards PJ Delaney. And the referee, I think, will be forced to throw the ball up. So once again, some more news for Marty.
Kevin Fennelly has just switched DJ Carey to centre half forward, Andy Comerford on the wing, but he did give the instruction, it was only just for a few minutes, to see if DJ would become more involved in the match.
That's Paddy Mulhare getting that ball forward towards the two-man full forward line. Joe Dooley and John Troy. Dooley going for the score, lovely turn, and that's the equaliser, level for the second time. Joe Dooley produces it again. A second point in this All-Ireland final, and it's 1-5 for Kilkenny, 8 points for Offaly. Well, there was speculation that this might well be Joe Dooley's last final, but if it is to be the case, he's certainly playing well, taking his chances, just as he did against Clare 2 weeks ago. Dermody's puck out, a big one, down into the half-back line. Rigney taking it. Oh, DJ Carey did really well to get that ball away. Can they now turn it into a score? Here's McAvoy. Good ball outside to Kenny O'Shea. Firing, and he puts it over the bar. Kenny O'Shea's first point, and Kilkenny have the lead again. Well, sometimes we don't see DJ doing all the donkey work, but he was doing it there. Very selfless work, on from McAvoy for Kenny O'Shea to put it over the bar. But it was the work of DJ Carey that set that one up. Lovely little flick away. Here's Tom Hickey. Tom operating at left half, left corner back. PJ Delaney across towards O'Shea with that ball carrying too much pace. Martin Hanami racing after it. O'Shea trying to steal inside. Hanami's a difficult carry to get that ball away from, and it's Kevin Martin in the end. Down to midfield towards Paddy Mulhare. Offaly have men there in numbers. Hubert Rigney, first touch, a good one. Sweeping it back into the two-man full forward line. Great catch by Pat O'Neill. Aware he was about to be hooked by Joe Dooley. Billy Dooley challenging as well. He's doing a lot of one-handed hurling in this particular match, Pat O'Neill. Comes back here to Willie O'Connor. That's a good ball forward to DJ Carey, who made that last point. And he's fouled, and it's a free in. DJ now operating on the 40 against Hubert Rigney. They keep on moving the players around, but the tactic clearly is to try and unsettle Hubert Rigney, who mops up an awful lot of ball for Offaly. So Dickie Murphy giving the decision. We're just under 2 minutes to go to half-time, plus possibly a little bit of injury time for the attention we had for Johnny Dooley. It'll be DJ to score this, Kilkenny's leading scorer in the championship. 3 goals and 18 points so far this year. From right in the middle of the field, the breeze against him. Will he opt to lob this ball in, or will he go for the point himself? He's going for it, but it's stopped on the goal line by Stephen Byrne again. Outside to Simon Wheelahan. Charlie Carter in there to try and pinch it away from the corner back if at all possible. PJ Delaney, the hand pass back here to Brian McAvoy. Lobbing it in, and again it's short, and again the goalkeeper gets it. And a quick counter-attack then by Offaly towards Joe Erity. Brian Wheelahan coming to try and take it away from Willie O'Connor. Liam Cohen's there to help the other defender. Cohen nicely down. Again, there's no marking of Brian McAvoy. Dignan standing back, now trying to challenge. Hubert Rigney next in with the challenges, and the referee says, hang on, that's a foul. And it's a free in for Kilkenny. Great work being done by Brian McAvoy in this first half. DJ Carey calling for a replacement stick. So close to half-time now. Kilkenny looking to stretch their lead here to 2 points. It'll be DJ Carey who will take it, as Brian McAvoy has been one of the stars of the first half for the Kilkenny Cats, looking for their 26th All-Ireland victory. That would put them within 1 of Cork. DJ taking maximum care over this. There's some jeering up on the hill among the Offaly fans, trying to put him off his strike. But they certainly haven't put him off his stride, and he puts it over the bar. DJ Carey's second pointed free. She's happy, they're all happy in there among the Kilkenny following, because they've got a 2-point lead, 1-7 to 8 points. And in this first half so far, Offaly have created more chances. They've created 17 chances to Kilkenny's 13. But that goal after 11 minutes by Charlie Carter, so important. Michael Kavanagh gets it down to Philly Larkin, busy as always at midfield. 2 players chasing after him. Billy Dooley was one of them, not quite sure where that was going to end up. And here once again is Brian McAvoy. John Troy trying to dispossess him. He gets it out to Liam Keoghan. Great block down by Michael Dignan this time. Running into Peter Barry, however. DJ Carey, it's a lovely pick up ahead of Johnny Dooley. That was wonderful hurling. Now where's this going to end? Short again is the answer. Stephen Byrne once more. Last line of defence. The ball has dropped into his hands on about 3 occasions in the last 10 minutes. It was the lovely pick-up. He's got a hand injury, as you can see, but the pick-up of DJ Carey was as sweet as you could see. Charlie Carter to leave this one, and it's going to be Brian McAvoy, happy with his 3 points from play in the first half. Sideline cut, not a particularly good one, straight to Michael Dignan, and the referee blows the whistle for half-time here in the 110th All-Ireland Hurling Final, the Guinness All-Ireland Championship, reaching its climax. Kevin Martin did a steady job at left half back, but it was Brian McAvoy who was one of the real stars for Kilkenny, and Charlie Carter who got the goal, his only chance, after 11 minutes. There are 2 points separating the teams at half-time, but Kilkenny have the vital lead by 1-7 to 8 points. And we're going down to the sideline once again to Marty Morrissey.
Coach Mulher, despite that Charlie Carter's goal, you fought back very well.
Well, we came back. We didn't start off very well. The last 10 minutes we have come into the game a bit all right, but we have it all to do in the second half hour. Kilkenny seem to be more fresher than us at the moment.
Explain the switch of Brian Wheelahan to the attack.
Well, we felt that Brian was labouring a bit wing back, and McAvoy was very fast, so we just thought that we give Brian a break there for a few minutes.
McAvoy is still causing you problems.
He scored 3 points so far, yeah. But like all the team is causing us problems at the moment, but we're still only 2 points behind.
Coach Mulher, well done, thank you.
2 points in it on the scoreboard, very little though in it in terms of the trend of the play in that first half. I'll be talking to Cyril Farrell down pitch side to Marty Morrissey.
Well, joining me now, Michael, is former Galway star Pete Finnerty. From where you saw the game, what's your thoughts on it so far?
Firstly, it has been a great competitive game of hurling, and it is toed and froed. Kilkenny went well early on, Offaly seemed to come back into it, Kilkenny back into it again, and Offaly back into it. But looking on the half, you'd have to say that Kilkenny were the better team. Their forwards looked that little bit sharper. Camus Brennan is going well at centre back, and with Brian Whelan up in from the forwards, Offaly have a lot of work to do in the second half. But knowing Offaly and the way the wind is brought, it seems to be favouring them, so they still could come through.
Well, the word is now filtering through that Brian Whelan has had the flu over the last 24 hours or so. Brian McAvoy is a real potential match winner, though.
He is. Brian Whelan was struggling early on in the first half, and he had the flu. He went to bed early last night, and you could see he didn't have the energy to stay with McAvoy. McAvoy got his confidence up early on, and he's going very well. Ken O'Shea is coming into the game. DJ came out to midfield there and gathered a few balls late in the second half, and with Charlie Carter poaching around the square, he'll score his goals. Stephen Byrne came to the rescue there against Ken O'Shea as well. Offaly, on the other hand, John Troy is getting a few balls at centre forward, but Camus Byrne is still clearing a lot, and they have to get more of a unit working together.
No, it's very, very windy down here. It's a real swirl wind as such. But despite that conditions, who are you going for now?
I'm still going for Offaly. I still think that Offaly will come through, and it's difficult to see it at the moment because Kilkenny are going better, but it's at the last 10 minutes that you have to be going well, and I think that Offaly may lift it for the last 10 minutes and come through.
Finnerty, thank you.
if there's enough possession going to the inside line, they will create more scoring chances and maybe get another 1 or 2 goals. So I'm going to stick with Kilkenny.
OK, let's go back to Ger Canning.
Yes, Michael, something strange has happened here this afternoon. I think the wind has changed direction since the start of the game. And by the flags across on the far side, it's now blowing down the field towards Hill 16. In other words, it's favouring Offaly yet again as the second half gets underway. And I had that little whisper as well at half-time that the great Brian Wheelahan did wake up this morning with a bout of flu, and that might have explained his performance during the first half, or at periods during the first half. Offaly coming looking for the first score of the second half. John Troy trying to make some inroads there, but he picked the ball off the ground, and it's going to be a free out for Kilkenny. This, once again, here is what was happening as they were trying to launch an attack, and the ball there was picked up off the ground. Brian Wheelahan now, by the way, has gone into full forward in a complete transformation as DJ Carey sets up. Andy Comer hits it low. Stephen Byrne makes the save. Tricky one down there because of the state of the pitch this afternoon. Out to Johnny Pilkington. Beautifully caught by Philly Larkin. Setting it up once again for Brian McAvoy. And that has gone wide. That's just the second wide in this match for Kilkenny. Obviously, they had just 1 in the first half, and 6 in the first half was the Offaly return. Stephen Byrne playing in his 8th championship match. Johnny Dooley contesting, but beaten for it here by Peter Barry. Kevin Martin picking it up. Dropping it down towards John Troy. Getting there ahead of him, however, was Tom Hickey, but he was out over the sideline. And Sean McMahon, the linesman from Clare, was waving his flag furiously. A young player who's had a dream year so far, Tom Hickey, hoping that he'll be taking the Liam McCarthy Cup at the end of the 70 minutes. Troy going short this time. Inside towards Brian Wheelahan. Now at full forward. And that's over the bar. It might well transform Offaly yet. So, just a point between the teams in front of an attendance today of 65,491. This is what they saw, and that's where it ended up. Joe Dermody seems to be pucking into the wind. But the more flags you look at here, you realise the wind is swirling around quite a lot. That's Joe Erity trying to get that ball down to the other Joe, Joe Dooley. Out towards Paddy Mulhare. Quick change of direction in order for Paddy to take it on and try and take it by Michael Kavanagh. And the referee's whistle sounds. Michael Kavanagh. Paddy Mulhare, who's hoping to really get more and more into this match. It'll be a free to Offaly for that foul by Kavanagh. John Troy coming out to take it. Just inside that 45-metre line. This to level the match. Rolling it up confidently, hitting it sweetly, or so it seems. No, it's just tailed away in the last minute. Seemed to be on its way. But he's put it wide, and there's still a point between the teams. Kilkenny still the leaders. Tense faces down there among the Offaly substitutes. Dermody hits it right through the centre towards PJ Delaney. It runs on beyond him. Charlie Carter has it, shortens the grip on the stick, and he puts it over the bar. A goal and a point now by Charlie. Kilkenny's first point of the second half, and it's as you were at half-time with 2 points between the teams, but it was a huge puck out that time, all the way down to Charlie Carter and over the bar. And the flags on the far side right now would seem to indicate that the breeze has changed direction yet again, and it's now blowing down towards the canal end. In other words, it's favouring Kilkenny, and Canis Brennan here knew he was going to be hooked. This time he was blocked down by Johnny Dooley. Peter Barry trying to make some inroads. Billy Dooley there as well had a goal chance right at the start of the match. Kevin Keanahan's come out trying to make amends for that goal that Charlie Carter got. Out to Johnny Pilkington. Pilkington racing through, stopped by Willie O'Connor, but the referee says foul blow, however. And it's going to be a free for Offaly. Well, a fair bit of dash and courage shown by Johnny Pilkington, but he was fouled by Willie O'Connor. This is how it all happened. Referee says dangerous play, and that's going to be a free in. Free taken by Brian Wheelahan and duly put over the bar. 4 points now by Brian Wheelahan. So it's 11 points to 10 effectively. Darmody giving the signal. Another huge one booming downfield beyond DJ Carey. Simon Wheelahan going very low, challenged by Charlie Carter, kicked ahead towards Kenny O'Shea, stopped here by Michael Dignan. Johnny Pilkington low along the ground beyond Paddy Mulhare. Dennis Brennan getting it out as far as Tom Hickey, Kilkenny's captain. Offaly there in numbers. Johnny Pilkington doing a lot of good spade work. Hubert Rigney getting away from the challenge of DJ Carey. Pat O'Neill is having a storming match once again for Kilkenny. Towards Kenny O'Shea, stopped by Martin Hannamy. And passing it to Mulhare. Loose player inside is Brian Whelan, and Tom Hickey just got it away, but only as far as John Troy. Here's another chance for Offaly, and John Troy has put it wide, and they're in there protesting. Brian Whelan is certainly in there protesting. A disputed shot and a disputed score, as it were, and Brian Whelan still furiously arguing with the two umpires. Just for a moment he was left unmarked, and Tom Hickey did really well to take it away, but it fell to John Troy. Hubert Rigney moving back to try and take it, flipped away from him by DJ Carey, doing a lot of very good work that's pretty well going unnoticed. This time he's the provider to Charlie Carter. Nice turn inside, trying to get it back towards DJ, catches it well, trying to take it out of the defence. Hubert Rigney's there, so too is Johnny Pilkington. It comes out to Andy Comerford, blocked down by Kevin Martin. Back to Comerford once again, very awkward angle. A second great block down by Kevin Martin. Now it's Charlie Carter. Simon Whelan with another block, 3 in a row from two Offaly backs, really fired up, trying to play the game of their life. It means so much for amateur players to take home the cup. This was a wonderful spell of play. Kevin Martin first doing the blocking, and this time it's Simon Whelan. Comerford with the sideline ball, in towards DJ Carey, trying to skip away from Whelan. McAvoy coming in on this left-hand side. An awkward one for him, and he's put it outside and he's put it wide. So that's the second wide of the second half now from a Kilkenny point of view. And that gentleman there sees himself up on the screen, but he's a disappointed man. Still his side are a point ahead. I'm sure that man felt they should be 2 ahead. Tremendous noise, great excitement as well. Canis Brennan. Again blocked down by John Troy, comes to Joe Dooley, blocked again by Canis Brennan. Well, the blocking in the early phase of the second half by players on both sides has been exemplary. Paddy Mulhare, as we watch this once again, Joe Dooley, and again a courageous bit of play by Brennan. So Mulhare to hit it. Goes all the way in towards Brian Whelan, had been marked by Tom Hickey. And he's gone down injured, and it's going to be a free in for Offaly and a chance of the equaliser. So let's go across to the sideline just before the free is taken to Marty.
Well, just down at the other end of the field, a very astute positional switch has been made by Kevin Fennelly and his co-selectors. DJ Carey has been moved in now full forward, and PJ Delaney is now playing on the 40.
Well, Brian Whelan seems to have done that right ankle. John Troy to hit this, should be the equaliser, and he's put it over. A third point by John Troy, and the sides are level in this All-Ireland final for the third time. It's Kilkenny 1-8, Offaly 11 points. You see from the flags there the breeze, and that breeze right now does seem to be favouring Offaly, but it swirls and it changes direction so many times. It's very deceptive. Kevin Martin out towards Johnny Dooley. Johnny trying to press forward there. Johnny Pilkington alongside him. PJ Delaney, and he's gone down. And the referee says there's a foul by Kevin Martin, who argues that he was using his shoulder fairly. Dickie Murphy didn't see it that way. Always the referee will have a quiet little word with the player, diffuses everything. Players have so much respect for him. And PJ Delaney, who earned that free, watching now as DJ Carey will hit. Can Kilkenny go back in front again? The distance from the goal is about 48 metres. DJ's got 2 so far out of 3 frees. They look at it and he's put it over. So a 3rd point by DJ Carey, and Kilkenny have a 1-point lead. And look at that for wonderful colour and wonderful excitement on one of the sporting days of the year. Stephen Byrne's puck out. Keown can't get under the ball. It's a fabulous catch by Liam Keown. Joe Dooley was in there trying to make life awkward for him. It comes out to Johnny Pilkington. Inside towards Brian Wheelahan, happily recovered from injury. Pat O'Neill is the man he was trying to take on, and the referee is whistling again. Wheelahan gets his free. And again, this should be the equaliser. Said to have come into the match with a bout of flu, already damaging a right ankle. Michael Bond looking on. Wheelahan strikes it, and strikes it inch perfect. 5 points now by Brian Wheelahan, and they're level once again, now for the 4th time. That's quite a switch, but they did try it, of course, in one of the Clare matches. Towards Brian McAvoy's wing because of his good performance in the first half. You can be sure they'll try and favour him time and again. Kenny O'Shea, who switched wings, crossover there towards Charlie Carter. Good defending by Simon Wheelahan, and eventually they forced that ball away. Peter Barry trying to keep it away from Paddy Mulhare. Johnny Dooley is in there to offer assistance, and at the end of the pile-up it's going to be a throw ball between 2 players. Dickie Murphy forced into that particular course of action for about the 3rd or 4th time. Pitch is incredibly soft. You see that divot there as Andy Comerford comes forward, beating a couple of Offaly men for pace, kicking it in the end, and he's kicked it to the left and he's kicked it wide. He had a real chance. I think he was well aware that he was going to be hooped, but he showed great pace to get in that time. Well, even when the ball goes wide, you see on the screen there the happy faces of so many people here in an attendance of over 65,000 people. Pressure applied once again here. Joe Erity this time. Erity going in like a train, but steamrolled his way through and he scored! It's a goal for Offaly. "13 minutes into the second half, Offaly go in front." Well, he has a fabulous record of scoring goals in the championship. He's only ever scored 1 point, that was 2 weeks ago. But this now is the 6th goal that Joe Erity has scored in championship hurling. And what a vital one it is. Back live, coming through the centre there once again like a steamroller is Michael Dignan. Downfield towards Brian Wheelahan. Lovely control, he's 45 metres out, taking on Michael Kavanagh. Trying to link up inside here with Paddy Mulhare. Kavanagh gets it forward, however. The man who's full back on the under-21 team this year. John Troy, one-handed by Wheelahan, stealing it away beautifully to Erity. Really taking on Canis Brennan and trying to limit his effectiveness. Good hand pass from Troy, out to Johnny Dooley. They go for another score. Bounces in front of Joe Dermody. Happy that there was nobody coming in, so he had the chance to be absolutely certain in his handling. Simon Wheelahan with a wonderful catch. Well, the range of skills we are seeing in this match this afternoon, very, very impressive. Liam Keown hurling well towards DJ Carey, can't take it down. Charlie Carter can. 45 metres out, Charlie. Oh, he wanted a rapid response to that goal by Joe Erity. But it's Offaly who lead by 3 points. This is another look from behind the Offaly, or behind the Kilkenny goal of the Offaly move by Joe Erity, coming in, powerfully so, and a wonderful shot. That was from a pencil camera back behind the goal. This is Joe Erity in full flight once again, confidence high, and he's put another one over the bar. A goal now and 2 points for Joe Erity. Oh, the distinguished guests here are looking on. I'm sure there's thoughts in their minds about what a spectacular game it can be from time to time. As Joe Dermody pucks out across towards Kenny O'Shea's wing. Andy Comerford picking it up. Hooked well. Johnny Pilkington was in there trying to make life very difficult for the Kilkenny number 11. And it ends up being a 65. Went off the back. And that's the very first. Kilkenny taking the opportunity to prepare perhaps a fresh man to come in. Pat O'Neill is coming up to take the 65. We'll see from the breeze behind in the flag there that the wind is behind them at this stage. It's a huge one, but it's gone to the right. So Pat makes his way back onto the full back line. The man he's marking during the second half is Brian Wheelahan, scorer of 5 points, most of them from frees. Stephen Byrne about to puck out. Everybody under it. Paddy Mulhare taking it down. Canis Brennan there beside him. Every challenge is entered into as if their very lives depend upon winning this particular tie. Most important match of the year for all of them. Kenny O'Shea here taking his chance. Martin Hannemy's after him. He hits it and he hits it well. That's 2 points now in this match for Ken O'Shea. He'll be delighted. They're absolutely thrilled. 3 between them once again. Great individual work here by Kenny O'Shea, making the opening for himself. And from another angle, you can see that he shrugged off the attentions of the Offaly backs to make that score. Cohen, left half back, up towards the man in the corner who's beaten for it by Simon Wheelahan. Michael Dignan into the centre towards Johnny Dooley. Dooley against Barry, that's quite a battle this afternoon. Kevin Martin was coming in to try and get that ball forward. Andy Comerford has it. Kilkenny needing opportunities to try and convert those opportunities into scores, but nothing on this occasion. Just had a picture DJ Carey at full forward having a little look back at the man who was playing the ball in. So you just wonder what the Kilkenny management can come up with in terms of freshening up the ideas. DJ now at full forward where he's been marked by Kevin Keenan. John Troy. Hickey doing well. Forward there by Peter Barry. PJ Delaney this time trying to dispossess Kevin Martin. That goal has really changed things for Offaly. And they come looking for more. Pat O'Neill just kept it away from Brian Wheelahan. Needed Willie O'Connor to get it out, however. Philly Larkin. This is O'Neill once again. Drop hitting this one into the centre. Peter Barry first to react. Kilkenny looking fresh. Beyond Charlie Carter this time, and it favours the cornerback the whole time, Simon Wheelahan. Good work by Charlie Carter, but he's put the ball out over the end line. Kenny O'Shea is right corner forward at this stage. DJ Carey full forward, and this man here, Charlie Carter, remains at top of the left. Their half forward line reads PJ Delaney, Andy Comerford, and also, of course, Brian McAvoy. Midway now through the second half. Canis Brennan for a Kilkenny side trailing by 3 points. Simon Whelan again getting out there first, and this time Charlie Carter deemed to have done the dragging. Simon Whelan playing a very good second half. Offaly then, the side beaten in the Leinster final by Kilkenny. 3 points ahead, and a nice gesture there as the manager of one team offers water to a player on the other. It's part of the spirit in which this match has been played. That's nicely forward by Joe Dooley, kicking it inside here. This is Paddy Mulher, and strong, forceful work once again. Pat O'Neill knocking it well away from danger. DJ Carey now has gone into the centre of the field. There's just one man up front, and that's Charlie Carter. Kenny O'Shea with a quizzical expression on his face. Referee's been having words with him, just telling him to cool it down a little bit. Johnny Pilkington here, upended unceremoniously. Now I'm sure Johnny and Hubert Rigney wondering whether it'll be a history-making day for them. Beaten in the Leinster final, but will they take the cup at the end of it all? Rigney has hit this one to the right. No real chance there for the Offaly forwards to profit. DJ Carey is now right half forward in a switch with PJ Delaney. Delaney now full forward. Annie Comerford just got a touch on that one. Coming in on it here is McAvoy, looking for another score. Nice ball inside, and what's the referee going to do here, because there's a player upended. The referee is calling aside Martin Hannamy. Once there was a real hint of danger, Hannamy forced into taking the player down. PJ Delaney, the player in question, and so Martin Hannamy becomes the first player to have his name taken in the 1998 Guinness All-Ireland Hurling final. This is the reason why. And it's a penalty. It had to be. So 3 men will be on the goal line. Martin Hannamy will be one of them. Stephen Byrne is there as well. Kevin Martin's coming out, and they're waiting to bring Brian Whelan all the way up from full forward. Is he going to be the one on the goal line? They've only 2 there at the moment. They're still having a consultation. It's Whelan who's going in. DJ Carey to take it. How often in the past has he got important goals in major matches? Remember the 2 he got from frees, from ordinary 20-metre frees in the Leinster final this year. Kilkenny trail by 3 points. Will this be the equaliser by DJ Carey? He's put it over the bar. A 4th point by DJ Carey, and so they remain 2 points adrift. Well, this is interesting. He put it over the bar. I have an idea he probably almost certainly went for a goal. And Marty Morrissey has some more news.
While DJ Carey was taking that penalty, there's Johnny Dooley was called over to the sideline to talk to the Pat McLaughlin and Podge Mulher, the 2 Offaly selectors. And Podge Mulher has now gone down to Michael Bond because there is concern whether or not Johnny Dooley can continue.
We also got a view there of Niall Maloney, who could very well be coming in pretty soon for Kilkenny. This is Johnny Dooley, about whom there is some concern, and that's saved again by Joe Dermody. Offaly leading still by those 2 points. In terms of time remaining, about 11.5 minutes to go. Joe Dooley has it. Still Dooley going forward, in towards John Troy, saved by Joe Dermody. Very good interception there, and a fine clearance down towards DJ Carey. Kenny O'Shea and Philly Larkin in after it. Johnny Pilkington trying to get that ball again downfield in towards his forwards. Liam Keown fast to the ball this time. Stopped by Johnny Dooley, but there's support there. Nicely out of defence. Charlie Carter. Keeping it away here from Martin Hannamy. Delivering a dangerous ball in there. Stephen Byrne making the save. Kenny O'Shea very nearly got a little flick on that one. It's up and down the field. Championship hurling. The prize a huge one. Brian Whelan again. Pat O'Neill in there to try and make life more awkward for him. A partial block on it. Tom Hickey getting the clearance in. Into the middle of the field. Johnny Pilkington beaten by 2 men. Brian McAvoy and Andy Comerford. Comerford firing it forward, but that'll favour Kevin Martin against DJ Carey. Just not the kind of direct pass that DJ was looking for. This is a fine catch by Billy Dooley, out around the middle of the field at this stage. Liam Cohen. Offaly just with their noses in front, towards John Troy. Canis Brennan. Oh, stopped by Paddy Mulher when he was trying to pick out one of the half-forwards with the pass. Towards Joe Dooley. Great catch again by Pat O'Neill. If it's an All-Ireland final and Kilkenny were involved in the 90s, you can be sure that Pat O'Neill will turn in a storming performance, and that he's done again this afternoon. Martin Hannamy breaks out to Paddy Mulher. Peter Barry, assisted by Charlie Carter, towards PJ Delaney, got a little touch to give it away from Hubert Brigney onto Andy Comerford. Kilkenny raiding again, trying to plug back the lead, and that's a foul on Kevin Keenahan. And Kilkenny are about to make a change as anticipated, and let's get some news of that from Marty.
Well, Niall Maloney is being introduced, and the man that's going to be coming off is Ken O'Shea. Offaly seem to have lots of problems at the moment. Darren Hannafy has been given the slip of paper. We anticipated it was for Johnny Dooley, but that in turn could change now.
So Darren Hannafy, rather, brother of Gary, of course, he is now on the field. On the field and off the field. Selectors just waiting to make their move. Billy Dooley, the injured player here. And Offaly, I think, being forced into making a change. They might have been considering another player going off, but it looks bad for Billy Dooley as we go back for Marty.
Yes, well, Tony Murphy, the Offaly Hurling Board Secretary, had to change the name on the slip of paper. It was going to be Johnny Dooley, but now it has to be Johnny's brother, Billy.
So Darren Hannafy gets his big chance. There are just about 8 minutes to go. Right in there it goes. Brian Wheelahan, lovely dancing movement from him, and he gets it over the bar. A wonderful half-back within his best form, now proving himself to be a very accurate and astute forward with his 6th point of the day. Delight for Offaly fans. He's had 6 chances to score, you know, in this match, and he's got 6 points. Johnny Pilkington firing it in. It's gone over the bar. 2 in a row. Pilkington's first point. This match far from being over. 4 points separating the teams, but Offaly with a couple of good scores in the last few seconds. This is nicely taken down by Philly Larkin. Now it's Kilkenny's turn to attack. They need a score badly. And Philly Larkin provides his first point of the day. So 3 points the margin, 115 to 112. This was a beautiful skill just moments ago here from Philly Larkin, beautifully over the bar. Stephen Byrne, man who saved Offaly on many occasions during this championship season. Towards Joe Dooley, runs on towards John Troy, away by Hickey, out to Paddy Mulher. Well, it was always going left from the time it left his stick. A look of agony in his face, and Billy Dooley really feeling the pain of all of this. And you can see that he's damaged the knee. A highly pressurised occasion. Once again, McAvoy advancing. PJ Delaney trying to get it through. Delaney hits it, it's stopped. The referee has whistled. It's in the net, it's not going to count. The referee's whistle has definitely sounded before all of that. Dickie Murphy with a look at the watch. 6 minutes remaining. Here in Croke Park, they were ready to change the score as PJ Delaney fired that one in there. Buried in the end. Niall Maloney's goal, however, does not count. And it's going to be a free in for Kilkenny just as soon as play resumes. And some more news from the sideline.
Indeed, Kilkenny are making lots of changes. We can tell you that John Costello is going to be coming in for Michael Kavanagh, but we also see that Sean Ryan has been given another slip of paper, and he is normally playing in the attack.
So 2 changes for the price of 1, as it were, late in the match. Concern everywhere. DJ Carey stepping up to take this one. And you know what that can mean many, many times. It means a score this time. It's a point. The man who also got a point from the penalty. And I'm almost certain he went for a goal. But 2 points between the teams. And DJ Carey has now got 5 points. All too early yet to be making predictions as to who's going to take the Liam McCarthy Cup, because anything can happen. Remember 1994? Remember all those other years as well, with late, valuable and vital scores. Philly Larkin up towards PJ Delaney. Plenty of changes being made. Kevin Martin stopping this one initially. DJ Carey trying to roll it up onto the stick. Having difficulty. Normally a skill he'd have done in about 2 seconds, but the pitch is so terribly soft this afternoon following the heavy overnight rain. Philly Larkin driving it in, stopped by Byrne. Stephen Byrne is challenged there by Niall Maloney, still gets his clearance in. Swept up here by Brian McAvoy. It was such a good first half. Michael Dignan now, his side leading by just 2 points. Pat O'Neill appeared to be dragged back that time, pressured by Brian Wheelahan. Canis Brennan trying to get it away for the Cats. Beating the block there of Darren Hannafy. Philly Larkin firing it forward again towards anybody who will do. It's Niall Maloney who was there along with DJ Carey, not Charlie Carter. Great block down by Simon Wheelahan. Carter this time dispossessed by Paddy Mulher. Offaly still with their noses ahead, but just about. Kilkenny coming back through Canis Brennan. Mulher rising for this one, taking it down well. Charlie Carter then going in, doing his little bit of defending as a forward. Peter Barry after this. Simon Wheelahan put everything he had after that. It's Joe Dooley who turns it back downfield. Brian Wheelahan chases. Canis Brennan's after it as well, facing his own goal. And he gets it away from Brian Wheelahan. Brennan's had a very, very steady game for Kilkenny. And it appears that Andy Comerford has gone. He's left the game and been replaced by Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan, former minor and under-21 star, now part of the action. Kilkenny having to freshen up their side. Just about 3 minutes remain. Simon Wheelahan in no particular hurry. At the end of the 2-year experimental phase, the backdoor system, the team that got in by that backdoor have got a lead. Ken O'Shea and it's John Costello rather who's come in place of Michael Kavanagh. That's another switch that they have just made. Also noticed there that John Ryan has come in place of Johnny Dooley for Offaly. So lots of changes and switches very, very late in the match as both teams try to turn it their way. John Troy nicely on towards John Ryan. Nicely in here towards Erity, the man who got the goal earlier on. Coming forward again, missing it this time, and it's a goal! Brian Wheelahan has done it! Brian Wheelahan has made it 2:15 to 1:13 with 2 minutes to go. It was Joe Erity who was steaming forward again, taking on Peter Barry, missing his shot. It came to Wheelahan and he buried it past Joe Dermody. Offaly will never have a better chance of taking the Liam McCarthy Cup than they have right now. Bidding to win the title for the 4th time ever. Pat O'Neill getting that ball away towards Brian McAvoy. Everybody chasing after him. This is Liam Keown. 5 points separate the teams. Nicely held back there, Hubert Rigney. So many heroes on both teams this afternoon. John Troy here, going forward again. Leaving one inside here, here's a late chance. And it's stopped. It was Hannafy who had the chance, Dermody making the block, still on the goal line there. Tom Hickey getting it away for Kilkenny. Well, it really would have been absolute curtains at that stage for the Kilkenny Cats. Martin Hannafy with a minute to go. Pat O'Neill losing the helmet, injured as well, but still got that ball away. Michael Dignan coming out here. That switch worked well. Dignan tearing through the heart of the Kilkenny defence on his left-hand side, and he puts it over the bar. The arms in triumph. Surely now it's Offaly. Dignan's second point. Offaly, who won the All-Ireland for the first time ever in 1981, Did it again, of course, in 1985. Did it in 1994 against Limerick. And now they're about to do it against one of the big powers in senior hurling. Hickey making the catch. 6 points the difference. Almost into injury time. Offaly stand firm. Kevin Martin having another great game at left half back. Willie O'Connor. Kilkenny needing a few extra minutes and a few goals quickly. Billy Larkin has it. They've already lost the minor this afternoon, and right now they look like they're about to lose the senior. And Joe Dooley looks like he's about to win his 3rd medal in the All-Ireland series. Billy Larkin hits it in. It's stopped by Simon Wheelahan. Driven way downfield again towards John Ryan. Good work again by Canis Brennan. John Ryan, the number 21, in there alongside Brian Wheelahan. He has had a wonderful match once again after a shaky start when Brian McAvoy got in for a few early scores. The switch has worked well. And Michael Bond, the man from Galway who came in late in the season, looks to be on the verge of an All-Ireland success. Mulhare has Kevin Martin there to assist him. Look at the liveliness now in the Offaly play. They look fresher. Back down again. Hubert Rigney, it's all over, and Offaly are the All-Ireland hurling champions for 1998. Hubert Rigney, the captain, will take the Liam McCarthy Cup back down to the Midlands, but this time it'll be to Offaly. Michael Bond, one of the heroes, the man who came in, who turned around their season. But Offaly had so many heroes this afternoon, and the final score here shows Offaly winning by 6 points. It's Offaly 2 goals and 16 points, Kilkenny 1 goal and 13. Here's Marty.
Michael Bond, you certainly transformed this Offaly team since you came in.
I didn't do anything to this team. They were there all along, Marty, and they're a fabulous team. And what a wonderful day for Offaly and Offaly hurling. And I'd like to thank each and every one of the players, all 28 of them. I'm so proud for everybody, that the county board, the players, everybody else. I mean, I think it's a tremendous day from Offaly, and it just shows what can be done when players are brought along the right way.
Certainly the move of Brian Wheelahan, I know he's had flu over the last 24 hours, to pull forward, change things.
Brian Wheelahan had a terrible flu. He's on very heavy medication. His legs were totally dead. I think the fact to put him up for Corn and Pat O'Neill, that was the changing of the match. But every single one of the players, every single one of the 18 that played, they were really fabulous.
We do realise you're in for canonisation now in Offaly.
I don't know what I'm in for, but I'm so glad. I'm so glad for all of them, you know.
Thank you, Michael Bond.
So Offaly are the champions, led by Michael Bond. It's been a long, long season for them. The fans have travelled every part of the championship with their team. And the side that got beaten in the Leinster final have come good in the final of the All-Ireland itself. Wonderfully joyous scenes for Offaly people. But that move by Brian Wheelahan up to full forward, that's the one that really turned things around. Joe McDonough, President.
Another All-Ireland medal, but what a way to win it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's great there in the second half. The commitment shown by the players was unbelievable, and our backs was to the wall at half-time. We were 2 points down after playing with the breeze, so we had it all to do at half-time. And I think we showed out there in the second half that this team has unbelievable fight-back spirit.
You've done it more than once, of course, this year.
Yeah, well, we've done it a couple of times there in the Clare games, and we had a couple of hard games behind us, and I think it stood to us in the second half today.
How difficult was it outside there? Because looking from on the ground as such along the sideline, the wind was so difficult, it was swirling all the time.
Yeah, there was a funny type of a breeze out there. It actually changed a bit in the second half, and I think it favoured us slightly, but having said that, when things were going bad for us, we really put it together, and in second half was a great performance.
Well, certainly the man beside you will be remembered for a long time around Burr, and indeed Offaly. Great goal, but I always knew you was a full-back, Joe Everty.
Yeah, I couldn't make it back there to shove me up the other end of the field. I think we'll all be remembered for today's performance. It was great. character in the team today. As Johnny said, our backs were to the wall at half-time, and we had a sort of a chat to ourselves at half-time, and we said there's no way we were going down here without a fight. And the spirit in the team is absolutely unbelievable, and it showed there in the second half today. Total commitment, and when we got on top, we stayed on top, you know.
It was your goal, though, that set them on the road to victory. It was indeed symptomatic of the whole Offaly team. Great determination that actually got you the score.
Yeah, I suppose, I mean, I got a break and I wasn't going to get a strike for a point, so I just put my head down and went for it. And I suppose from that goal on, the whole team just lifted. And our backs got completely on top then and just ball down on top of us. And we got a percentage of them for scores and that, you know. But overall, a great team performance, you know.
Well, let me move on to the man who's, I think, described as the find of the year, goalkeeper Stephen Byrne. You had to do it again today.
Well, it's like this, Marty. I have this and I'm not going to let it go. I'm not going to let this one go now for a while. It's been a great year. It's unbelievable, like first year in the camp, and the lads are unbelievable. Like I told you that the last day. I said from 1 to 15, no matter how many lads are criticised, from the midfield in, our lads are criticised. Proved today, they're the best in Ireland.
But considering your performances during the year, the last couple of games, the last game against Clare, and again today, you had to really produce a miraculous save.
Well, Marty, it's like this, as I said to you, you know, every game is different. You have to go with the same frame of mind for every game. If you don't, you won't play well. And you have to concentrate. And it's not Ireland final, you have to concentrate.
You've answered all your critics, not just you. I know you got a bit of stick over that simple goal. Anybody can make a mistake anyway, Stephen, right? But that simple goal against Antrim, you've answered all your critics.
Yeah, well, these things happen. Like, you know, it even happens to the best of goalkeepers. And, you know, you just have to pick yourself up and plug away and get stuck in for the next day. You know?
I'm sure an all-star might be heading your direction.
We won't talk about that yet, Marty. We'll talk about tonight now. You're over tonight.
What do you think this is going to mean to everybody in Offaly, though? The way you won it as well.
It's going to be unbelievable for young people, Marty. It's going to be unbelievable. Like, we needed a lift in the county with hurling, especially for the youth, and it's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be unbelievable. They'll all be out with hurls.
Well, congratulations on a great year for you personally as well. Thank you, Stephen Byrne.
Wheelahan's pub there, the pub run by Simon Wheelahan and of course Brian and Pacho, and there they all are. Let's go over live to Wheelahan's in Burr.
Yes, the excitement is intense down here in Burr, and all the fans have started to party already. When do you think you had it won?
I honestly thought when Jory put the ball in the back of the net, I thought that was the time that Offaly started to hurl well in the forward line, and that's when I think things came right for Offaly.
There was a lot of nail biting up to that stage. Did you think the lads did well?
I thought they hurled fantastically well, but Brian Whelan was sick all day yesterday. He was in bed with the flu. They changed him from the forward, or from the back line into the forward line. I honestly thought that was a big array for Offaly. Brian can hurl anywhere, and he proved it today. That's an awful great thing to have a player like that in any team.
And did you think that the fact that Offaly had more matches helped the situation?
I honestly, they were a lot fitter, they were a lot better. They also that, like the likes of the Whelans, the Bannermen, it's a small pick from Offaly. We have a great team and we have a big band of players, and that's the most important thing. We have heart. We have heart.
What's this win going to mean?
It means everything. Absolutely everything. It's great for the town, it's great for the county and the players. They worked hard to get it, and I knew they could do it. Everyone here, as you can see, is absolutely ecstatic, overwhelmed by the win, but we knew they could beat it. When they bet Clare, we knew they could get the Cats.
What kind of a party are we going to have tonight?
Oh, a live one.
What was the finest moment for you in the match?
Oh, the last two goals were just stopped my heart from ticking.
Was there anyone here who doubted that Offaly would do it? OK, back to you, Michael. The party has just begun.
And welcome back here to the cash room, I think, underneath the Hogan stand. Brian Wheelahan, just tell me exactly, when did you get the flu?
Well, Marty, I suppose I picked it up early in the week, and we trained during the week, and I seemed to get rid of it. But yesterday morning I woke up and I was absolutely dying in the bed, and you know, I got an antibiotics off our local doctor, and I saw Brendan Lee last night. You know, I had more stuff in me today than you know, than probably any athletes going around going on the circuit at the minute. But you know, I seemed dead or something today, and you know, I think that only for the switch today, I probably could have been switched to the line, and I'd like to thank our selectors for moving me up, because it took, you know, I wasn't in the game, and I think it helped out our backs as well, you know.
Well, I'd hate to see you when you're fully alive if you're half dead today. I think a goal and 6 points I made it, something like that along the sideline. But the goal in particular put the icing on the cake, to use the cliche.
Well, Marty, yeah, Jordy, he's picked up a ball and went right at them and had got in for a shot. And I think he went to go, same as his first goal, a drop shot, and he seemed to hit the heel of his hurl. And Pat O'Neill committed himself to Joe. The ball just came across to me, and I'd say if I missed it, you know, I'd have been shot. But thankfully, it broke very well for me, and you know, what can I say? We're All-Ireland champions, and it was a great display.
Well done, Brian. It's a great moment for the Wheelahans because the younger brother was at number 2. Well done today, Simon.
Thanks very much, Marty. Thanks very much. It's a great day for Offaly, and especially us. Like, you know, what a year! 2 All-Irelands in 1 year. Like, it's something special. Like, I hope to God it lasts forever. Like, oh my God, it's fantastic.
But it's some way to win it.
Oh, in the first half now, we were very poor, like, we didn't know where we were. But to come back, the performance we gave in the second half now was unbelievable. I'm delighted for everybody. Like, we just knuckled down, put our hits together, and we hooked, blocked, cleared balls off the line. Like, we deserved to win, actually.
Well, one man who was cheering on the other 2 brothers, Barry, I'm sure it was nerve-wracking for you.
Oh, geez, I was just dying to get in there. The 2 boys were brilliant, the whole team was brilliant, and just delighted for everybody today. Sure, I thought we didn't have a great first half, and Brian didn't go well. The next team, minute we did the forward line, everything started to work out for us. Just delighted for everybody today, and we're going to have a great night tonight.
I'm sure there'll be wild celebrations and bonfires in Burr, Kilcormac, Tullamore.
Oh, everywhere. We're going to have a right cheer now here. We're going to have a great
well done to the Wheelahan brothers. Congratulations, lads. Well done. Indeed, a great moment here in the...
Yeah, going on a right pair.
Thank you very much indeed, Michael. Well, Peter Finnerty, you've always expressed your admiration for Kilkenny hurling, but today you went for Offaly. You stuck with them at half-time. What is it about these remarkable men that so appealed to you?
I suppose the people down in Whelan's pub will probably break the television or say he finally got it right. But at half-time, I felt that if Offaly were with Kilkenny, that this fighting spirit that they've displayed against Clare would come through in the finish, and they would bottle up Kilkenny and tighten up on the slack marking that they were showing in the first half, and I felt that they came through. It was a tremendous game of hurling, probably the best game of hurling that we've seen this year, even though their last game was very good as well. And there was talk before the match they were giving away tickets outside.
Hubert Rigney.
It's a glorious moment for Offaly, for their captain Hubert Rigney. The Liam McCarthy Cup is won by Offaly. Champions for the 4th time ever. What a remarkable last 20 years it's been. Billy Dooley in there. What a day for the Dooley family. Johnny Pilkington as well.
Luke coming, Luke last year. Greens are off wall, yeah. Tahan, no, Hasaram, and Karen Shah, Agalaka, and Vernon O'Fall,
Yes, a tremendous win there, obviously, for Offaly. Just their 4th All-Ireland senior title. Every one of those sweet. Today's one, no less so, I can tell you. Well, for Kilkenny hurlers, 1998 has also been a bit of a turnaround. Nothing to show for their efforts in 1997. They went into competition in 1998 with many problems to sort out. Well, that in the main was achieved. The Leinster title was secured, but I suppose, well, the one that they really wanted was the Liam McCarthy Cup. Well, that was not to be. The Cup is in a different hotel in Dublin tonight. But let's see what the mood is like amongst the Kilkenny team and their supporters as we join Jim Carney in the Alexandra Hotel.
Kilkenny are long renowned for being modest in victory and gracious in defeat. But here tonight, being gracious does not conceal their bitter disappointment, crushing disappointment for fellas who played their hearts out. But they've agreed to talk to us, to tell us their thoughts and to give us their feelings. Kevin Fennelly, manager. Kevin, you made a huge contribution, you and your team today, to a magnificent contest, but you came up here for more.
Yeah, Jim, we want to win the All-Ireland. We didn't win the All-Ireland, but fair play to Offaly. The bees on the day, we've no complaints. It's hard, it is hard. I mean, there's no place for losers, but fair play to Offaly.
But there's a great spirit and a great atmosphere here tonight, Kevin. There's a hurling bond, obviously, in Kilkenny.
Yeah, the lads that trained, DJ, Canis, all the rest of the lads, you couldn't ask for more. They did their best, they worked hard. They went out today and they gave everything that was in their hearts and souls. And all I can do is congratulate Offaly and say the best of luck to Offaly, enjoy themselves. Wish to God that it was me and the lads, but it wasn't to be.
Thank you, Kevin. Canis, you played your heart out today. Wonderful personal display, but I'm sure that's not a great consolation to you.
No, I'm afraid people don't remember great personal displays when you lose in All-Ireland, but best of luck to Offaly. They were the best team on the day, and they won the All-Ireland. These things happen, and we have to just go back next year and try and do it all over again. And we'll be thereabouts again next year.
From the human point of view, Canis, how bad a feeling is it?
It's tough, all right, losing in Ireland. It's my first time to lose in Ireland. I remember the last time I lost in Ireland was in 1993 in the under-21 grade. And when you're looking at a match here tonight, you don't really want to see the match again. And I know Offaly are celebrating, but as I said earlier, we'll be back again next year. There's no doubt about that. And the people here beside me and people behind me will be here again next year. There's no doubt about that.
That's a strong message to send out to the people of Kilkenny at home. No doubt they'll respond.
No doubt they'll respond. Like I've never seen anything like the Kilkenny support today. It was absolutely brilliant. I've never seen anything like it. It was brilliant now. And all week, the hype and everything was brilliant. Regardless of whether we won or lost, I know people will be there in Kilkenny for us tomorrow night when we go home. And they'll be there again next year when we get into the All-Ireland, if we happen to do it next year.
Well played again, Canis, and may you have a happier outcome next time on another day. DJ, how do you sum up that game? You've had great days, 1 or 2 days that were down as well. Today is the day to be down.
Well, today is the day to be down, Jim. Yeah, we're fierce disappointed. We trained hard for today. We couldn't ask for anything more out of anybody, from management right down. And I'd also have to include the minors in that. The minors gave a great display today, came up second best. You know, but I would like to think that Kilkenny people would be proud of our efforts, all of our efforts today. Back earlier in the year, didn't look good, and we got to an All-Ireland final. We generated huge excitement in Kilkenny, and I'm sure that they'll turn out tomorrow night in Kilkenny to show us what they think of us.
It's not easy to ask you to give a judgment on it, but it has been agreed that it was a wonderful game of hurling.
Yes, Jim, it's difficult. As a player, you don't know. You're caught up in the game. You're wondering how long is left, how long is to go, what you're up, what you're down. You know, it's not simple. I'm sure it was a great game for neutrals today, but I'd like to echo the rest of the lads and congratulate Offaly. They're All-Ireland champions. They had a great year. They had ups and downs. Today is mighty up for them. You know, we wish them the best of luck, and you know, I hope that Kilkenny people will show us tomorrow night.
Well done, DJ, and all who love hurling will look forward to seeing you, DJ Ella, and Canis and Kevin as well, and Kilkenny.
Yeah, we'll all be back and give it a lash again next year, Jim. Thanks very much.
Yes, disappointment, but not necessarily dejection in the Kilkenny camp, clearly determined to be back again in 1999 for another crack at the championship. We will, of course, be hearing from Offaly and visiting the victors' banquet a little bit later on. But earlier in the day at Croke Park, Cork and Kilkenny met to decide this year's All-Ireland Minor Championship destination. Now, everybody that I've talked to since the match seemed to have enjoyed today's game, thought it was a great occasion and a good match.
It's a fantastic game. Two great teams, fully committed, great skill. Great kind of speed, great thought of mind, and like not a wrong stroke in it. And it was lovely to see, like, you had Kilkenny lads and Offaly fellas getting drinks from opposing, say, mentors and that. And even after the match, you remarked yourself, Michael, I saw spectators running onto the pitch cheering Offaly, which they were entitled to. And yet there was Kilkenny lads on their knees, and they actually stopped and patted them on the back. And I think, you know, it was a great day for Offaly. I think it was the best Offaly All-Ireland that they have ever won in Offaly. But I think it was also a great day for hurling.
It was obviously today to us, as we've made the point many times, a unique occasion because it was an all-Leinster final. And of course this result now is special in itself, the first backdoor winners, if you like.
Yes, and I mean, I'm sure Offaly won't be worried about that tonight. I mean, congratulations to them. They played superb hurling today, and credit to both teams as well. I mean, difficult conditions today. There was soft underfoot conditions, but they certainly erased the memory of the Leinster final by their performance today. It was absolutely brilliant. And as Sir said, great commitment on both sides. There's some wonderful hurling, and at the end of the day, unfortunately, from Kilkenny, they had to be a winner. And Offaly, I'm sure tonight, are going to be celebrating, whether they say themselves today that they came in the back door and went out the front door. They certainly deserved their victory today, and congratulations to them.
The reality of that situation about the backdoor system is, I mean, Offaly this year played, as far as I can remember, 8 championship matches. I mean, down through the years, traditionally in hurling, All-Ireland winners would have played a hell of a lot less than that. Yeah,
and I mean, obviously, games like that, competitive games that they got against Clare, are better than any training session. I mean, Kilkenny had to wait 6 weeks before they played the last game to the All-Ireland final. that seemed to upset them today because they didn't get into any form of rhythm. Offaly, we've seen over the last number of games against Clare, came back very, very strong in the second half, and did exactly the same today.
And yet, Cyril, earlier on in the match, I mean, Kilkenny were looking good. They were getting nice scores in that, and they looked like they had settled nicely into the match.
Yeah, they started off, you know, pretty well. They were a few points up, and even the new guys in the block were playing very well, like Sir Brian McAvoy and these. Now here, you're going to see a throw in here. Here's young McAvoy, picks up a lovely, uses his pace here, picks up a lovely ball and flicks it over the bar. Now, in actual fact, he was on song the first half. He got 3 lovely points from play. This was happening the whole time. Now, here again, you're going to see Kilkenny forwards a long, long ball from Joe Germany. This ball actually comes down through the middle. Little flick through here, runs kindly for Charlie. Now, Charlie actually goes to scoop it up, doesn't come, but hits it on the volley back of the net. And like, even though it didn't come up first time, he did the right thing with an instinct of a corner forward. See it again, like he goes to just jab lift it here, doesn't come fully for him, but the instinct straight away, just a lovely flick and volleyed in the ball back to the net. Now that came right through the middle, and they were living kind of, they weren't getting that much play, but anything they were getting, they looked very dense and were scoring it.
But one thing that impressed me about Offaly, not just today to us, but in fact all through this championship, was the way they've managed to just pick a nice, I could almost describe it as an individual score by a player, but that ability to just stand back and take a valuable point.
Yes, I mean, they played very well as a unit today, but there was some great individual passages of play as well. Here we see a clearance out of defence, and watch the ball as it breaks out to Brian Whelan, and it's great vision on Brian's behalf. Just sends a dummy to the marker, sees on try inside, a little hand pass, and tremendous score. And I mean, what Kilkenny were doing in the first half, certainly the Offaly forwards were able to do as well, and they showed themselves to be well capable of taking scores. Again, Johnny Pickerton finds out Brian Whelan, looks up, great ball into Joe Erity, has a turn to his left and turns back to his right. And there were great scores in a fabulous game of hurling today, and Offaly certainly, we said before the game maybe that both defences would be on top, but today forwards got tremendous points.
Speaking of defences, Offaly's defence was also very solid today.
Yes, I mean, in the first half, maybe people looked at the defence and said like, that they were allowing too much space to Kilkenny. In the second half, they closed it down completely. Here we see DJ Carey winning possession, 2 or 3 guys around him. The ball breaks out to the wing again. Watch Andy Comfort picking it up. He's blocked by Kevin Martin. He gets it again. Watch Kevin Martin again. Gets in his Hurley block again. And the passage comes on. Continues to play Charlie Carter. Simon Whelan has the block again. That's tremendous defending, I mean, in any team. And here we see again Charlie Carter out. Simon Whelan doesn't rush into the tackle. Waits for him to throw up the ball to strike and gets in his Hurley to block. And Paddy Mudd here clears the ball down the field. In the second half, especially today, you must credit Offaly backs and their full back line especially to get in tackles like that. It stopped every attack that Kilkenny tried to get put on.
If you were to pick one score, Cyril, I suppose, that really changed the course of this match, it had to have been Joe Erity's goal. I mean, Gerard Canning described it in the commentary that he went like a train, and it's always with Joe route 1 to the goal.
Well, yeah, and Joe did it against Clare as well. Like, yeah, it was the turning point of the game. Again, you had a long puck out comes here. Now he picks up a ball. He has a lot of work to do. He cuts inside Canis and Willie. Now he takes a hard good tackle here from Keoghan, right, but like he drops the ball, drop shot into the back of the net. Now, he did that like after taking a very hard tackle. You see a reverse angle on it here, like, and it's the thought that he puts into the quick action. Look, he takes a good tackle, he puts him back, you think, on his backside really, but drop shots it, gives the Dermody no chance at all and goes. That goal really changed the whole game. It put Offaly 3 points up, put them in the driving seat, and the way they've been playing against Clare in the last 3 games, once they got that grip at all, they were flowing from there on.
It was an interesting thing, a point that we were making earlier on this evening, that in the championship this year, games have been tight up to the last 10 minutes or so, and then suddenly a gap sort of appears to develop.
Yeah, like that's going to happen, and you need the breaks in any game, and Offaly be the first to admit that today they got breaks. But if you look at Joe Erity now, and I'm just picking at him, he has got more goals than points, and he hasn't played that many matches this year, through being injured and through bereavement and that. Like, but it shows his actual strength, and like you know, it's unusual to see himself and Whelan full and centre forward for Offaly playing brilliant, and they play centre and full in the back line for Borough. It just shows the versatility, really.
Sure. Let's, Tomas, talk a little bit about Kilkenny. We heard the interviews there with Kevin Fennelly and the players and so forth. Disappointed, as I said a moment ago, but certainly not dejected. There seems to be determination there that they're all going to come back and try and do this again next year.
Yes, I mean, they're a very young team, and I mean, they are the reigning Leinster champions. I mean, it's not a nice feeling. I mean, I've been there before in a losers' dressing room after an All-Ireland final. You feel very, very down on yourself. I know there's a lot of people who will be clapping you on the back and say no fault tonight, but like at the end of the day, you're in an All-Ireland final to win, and when you lose, it's very, very hard to take. It's going to take a while. I mean, tomorrow is going to be a difficult day for them when they go back to Kilkenny tomorrow night. But over the next coming weeks, I'm sure they'll get themselves together again. I mean, they have a very, very good team, and they're very capable of coming back again.
They certainly, at this latter end of the summer, have looked a far better side than they did sort of last February or March or whenever the league campaign started off.
Yes, I mean, when you take over a team as a manager, I mean, your first aim probably is the championship, and you use the league as a building process for greater things in the championship. Kilkenny's biggest worry, I think, this year was their first match against Dublin, because they hadn't a settled team. They weren't in a settled pattern. They got over that one and started to make progress as the year went on. And today, for them, things went against them today. Things go against players in All-Ireland final day. I mean, some people will say that today themselves, for players themselves, that the game bypassed them, the 70 minutes bypassed them, and you get one chance, and you get one chance in an All-Ireland final, you've got to take it. Unfortunately, today for Kilkenny, they didn't do so because they ran up against a very good Offaly team.
Cyril, your colleague from Loughrea, Michael Bond, he's won an All-Ireland Championship in a half a summer. What's he going to do when he has a full year next year?
He's done something that's nearly impossible. Like, you know, he's done the mission impossible, really. He came into a situation, like, you know, that very few would take, and like he's turned the whole season around, and like, you know, he gives credit to the players, and everyone knew that the ability was there, but yet he's got his own kind of traditional kind of play on them, and the nucleus, he had them there, but like he had to perform miracles, really, and he has done that. So when he gets a few years ahead, he's probably going for 2 or 3 in a row.
All right. Well, now a task that the panel still have to perform is the naming of the Sunday Games Man of the Match from this final. Now, but before all that, let's catch up on how the winner celebrations are going. We join Ger Canning and Marty Morrissey in Jury's Hotel.
Thank you very much indeed, Michael. Yes, we're down here in Jury's Hotel in Ballsbridge, and I can tell you it's the biggest party in Dublin tonight. There are about 750 people in this banqueting hall alone, and of course it was an absolutely wonderful day for all these Offaly supporters, Offaly players, Offaly mentors, county board officials, and so on, talking about it being the greatest Offaly win ever in the championship. And of course James Bond worked his magic. And what about Michael Bond? He's with me. You've done it. Had a great day.
Yes, a wonderful day, and I'm very proud to be part of this wonderful setup. I'd like to thank everybody involved, especially the 28 players and the 18 players who played today. They played wonderful. And a special thanks to my fellow selectors, Paul Mulhare and Pat Malachny, Tony Murphy, and Christy Todd and Brendan Ward. They really played a tremendous part in this win today.
Do you remember the first night you went down to training? Was it a Friday night?
It was a Friday night. I was there on the Wednesday night, and I watched very closely. I pulled the cap well down over my eyes so that I wouldn't be recognised. I turned up on the Friday.
James Bond stuff?
Not really, no. So I went in on the Friday night, and I just spoke a few words, and then went out in the field, and we did 2.25 hours of training, and we've done more or less the same thing ever since. So it's just repetition and hard work all the time, and the lads have responded very well.
You're a Galway man. Yes. What appeals to you about Offaly hurling?
They have character and their determination, and I remember watching them. I was in Croke Park in '94, and I watched them coming back from the dead, and I was so impressed with them then. And 2 years ago, I just said to myself, I'd love to coach and train and perhaps manage this wonderful team. And the opportunity arose in July this year, and I'm so glad to be a part of it. And they've proved everybody wrong.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Michael. With me, the team captain from St. Rynagh's, Hubert Rigney. A great day for the Rynagh's men.
Yeah, it's a great honour for me. I'm now the third captain from St. Rynagh's, the captain of a winning Offaly team, and you know, it's a great achievement for the club.
Absolutely. It was a tremendous match. Did you feel that playing it this afternoon?
Yeah, it was a tough game, and we were just watching it there, and you know, it was in the balance up to probably the last 5 minutes, you know. And at that stage it could have went either way, but it was a great feeling when the whistle went.
If people out there could have been here with about 10 minutes to go while you're watching the video screen, it was like as if the game was still hanging in the balance.
Well, yeah, you know, the supporters today were absolutely fantastic, and over the last 2 months, you know, they've come out in their thousands to support us, you know. And it was great to see them there today, and it was great when I was uplifting that cup to be looking down at that field today. They're absolutely fantastic.
Hubert, congratulations to you. Michael Bond and Hubert Rigney, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, indeed. When you mention in Offaly families that are involved in hurling, you think of course, the Wheelahans, you think of the Pilkingtons, and you think of the Dooleys. And joining me here now is Johnny Pilkington and Joe Dooley. Johnny Pilkington. You told me during the week in Burr, Johnny, that this was going to be a game that you would have to produce. You were going to have to produce some sort of a performance because you yourself was very disappointed with the way you were playing.
Yeah, I mean, don't think there's going to be an all-star at the end of this year, but I think today that the ball, I just followed the ball actually today and gave poor old Martin Hanamy an old hand pass here and Kevin Martin a hand pass and brought them all into the game, I thought myself.
You were the architect, really.
I know, it's just small little things I've been doing throughout the year, and thanks be God now the ball fell for me today, and just saying that now, Philly Larkin didn't have a bad game either, and he played fairly well anyway, you know, so I wouldn't say it was outstanding or anything, but it was a team effort today and we won well.
Well, you did well. Let me ask you just one hypothetical question. If a gentleman called Michael Babs Keating came into the dressing room, into the room here, what would you say?
Sure, I suppose the only thing he could say is that we're not a bad old flock at all.
Joe Dooley, you won your first All-Ireland 13 years ago, 1985. If you can compare your first All-Ireland with your third All-Ireland this afternoon.
There's no comparison, Marty. In 85, I just went along with the flow, whereas this year it has been a long, hard struggle. From the 14th of January, we started training in Shinrowan, and it's been a very, very tough year, and both mentally and physically in every way, and I'm just delighted it worked out for everybody, you know.
But what's the secret? What exactly makes the engine of Joe Dooley run so much? I never saw you sprinting around so much this year.
There's a lot of people saying Marie, but I suppose there's a lot of training goes in and a lot of dedication and commitment, and I'm just delighted. I was involved with the great Offaly team of the 80s, and I'm just delighted to be involved with the great Offaly team of the 90s now.
Just one last question, Joe Dooley. What was the making of this team?
The making of this team, I don't know, I suppose there's great hurlers on this team. There's men with great character, and we have outstanding hurlers, and I suppose, you know, what's in you will come out at the end of the day if you have it in you, and I'm just delighted for everybody and that it came out today, and I think it's no more than this team deserves.
Well done. Johnny Pilkington and Joe Dooley, congratulations. We'll go back to the studio and Michael Lester.
Yeah, thanks, Marty. We leave juries indeed for the moment, but we'll be back again very soon. But right now, we're off indeed to the county of Offaly. Yes, certainly plenty of celebrations in the faithful county tonight. That's the streets of Tullamore there, as you can see for yourselves, very much alive. Lots of jubilant supporters making their presence felt, and no doubt there'll be many a thirst quenched before this night is out. Mind you now, in Burr, Wheelahands Pub is the Mecca tonight, where we join Kieran Malooly.
Thank you very much indeed, Michael. Thank you very much indeed, and welcome to Brian Wheelahands Pub here in the centre of the town of Burr in County Offaly, where the excitement is growing, I can tell you, throughout the evening. Excitement because, of course, it's not just 3 All-Ireland medals today. This will bring the total in this house so far this year to 6 All-Ireland medals, 3 All-Ireland club medals and 3 All-Ireland senior medals this afternoon. And the supporters here are still taking in the celebrations. What about yourself? What was the difference between Offaly and Kilkenny this afternoon?
Determination, commitment, and the fact that the team was written off. It meant that they had to prove it to themselves. There are only 2 over 30 on the team. They're still a young team, but they were written off as gone past it. They had to prove it to themselves today. They did it.
3 ladies here beside you were at the game. They can vouch for the quality of the performance. What about yourself? You enjoyed the game?
We did. It was an excellent game, very exciting all the time. We really enjoyed it, and we're just saying we're proud to be from Offaly here tonight.
There's a bit of a story you want to tell me about your friend here, is there?
Catherine, she was to have her operation today, but she cancelled it early on today because we just got her tickets very late last night.
So nothing stops the Offaly road to success. Catherine, you managed to stay out of hospital.
I did, yeah.
And enjoyed the game.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I probably won't be called back, but...
What about this sort of talk tonight that this is a backdoor championship for Offaly?
We've listened to that for so long, and I work in a pub in St Tipperary, and I was there last night, and everybody was cheering for the Cats, and they say we're in the back door, but we're there in the front door tonight, and that's the main thing.
One last word, perhaps. What about the fact that new manager, 10 weeks in the business, there could have been another man there training that team called Babs Keating today?
Well, I think he was an important factor, and I don't think he treated the players with the respect they deserved. And I think he motivated them, and I think all the players rode in behind Johnny Pilkington when it was needed. And Pilkington came up with the goods today.
Big Borough performance, of course, and good celebrations here tonight.
Offaly were brilliant today. I'm on the first night of my honeymoon and I'm at Clareman and I'm enjoying it.
At Clareman, in the middle of an Offaly pub.
Yes, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying every bit of it. My wife is here behind me now.
Obviously, a Clare lady as well, or an
Yes.
Offaly lady?
Here she is now.
Obviously, the Clare games are very important on the way to this All-Ireland success.
Oh, yeah.
But Offaly were brilliant. And fair play to them, and I'm going to enjoy the time here today and tomorrow.
We have to say that, so we'll be
We've
turned out.
booked in for 3 days and we're going to see it.
What about Steph? You enjoyed the game?
Oh, yeah.
And back in the wheelhands once again. How important in your mind was the performance of the Borough players on this side?
Well, the Borough parents were very important because they backboned the team after winning the club championship. So there'd be a great bond between those guys, and all the new manager needed was to cement it.
Any singers among us in the people of Borough tonight? Perhaps just to finish, indeed, from the Brian Whelan's club here in the middle of Borough, we'd have a good burst of a song, perhaps. The Offaly Rover might be even sang for it.
The proprietor of that premises is here with us in Jury's Live. You look very happy to see the place packed tonight.
I'm delighted to see there's a few bob being made tonight anyway, but no, obviously great excitement down in Offaly tonight, as you've seen the streets of Tullamore and Borough tonight. I can tell you there probably won't be a dry throat in the county tonight, and that's what it's all about.
It must be a great feeling, though, to be toasting an All-Ireland success, to have participated so much in it, and still be making a few bob back at home.
As I say, I suppose, you know, the hurling has been very good to me, you know, and like I say, I'd like to thank Simon for organising all the boys to work tonight. He's on duty tomorrow night. He doesn't realise that yet, but. No, like I say, we had a shot straight after the game, and a good friend of mine, Raymond Hines, Curly Hines, as he goes by, was on television. So I can tell you, we were all looking at him and cheering at him as he was on television, and it was great.
Well done, Brian Whelan. Let me move on to a colleague in the half-back line. At least he was in the half-back line for a while before you moved. Kevin Martin. Some game today, Kevin. You must have enjoyed it.
Yes, Marty, great game. It's a marvellous day for Offaly hurling, and I'm just delighted to be a part of this great team, and I hope for many years to come.
Now, I happen to have the unique distinction of gate crashing your sister's wedding, by total accident, may I add, in Tullamore last week. Could it compare the All-Ireland success with your sister's wedding?
I better not say too much now, because she's probably watching in Portugal. But no, this is some occasion, and it's one that will stick in my memory for many years to come. When I won in '94, I think it was my first one, and I was a bit young to really take it all in. But today is just, words can't describe it. It's unbelievable, and I'm going to enjoy it for a month anyway. I don't know what the nice.
Were you nervous before you went out on the pitch today? Because there was a great calm when I visited the Offaly dressing room before the game. There was a great calm in the whole area.
Yeah, the boys, they acted fairly well today before the game. They didn't look that nervously really, but always deep in the players' bellies there's a bit of nervousness there, and you know, if it's not, there's something wrong with the player, and you'll always go in and sweat it out in the room warming up or whatever, you know, and you're thinking of what you're going to do. And I definitely was nervous before the game, but after 5 or 10 minutes, it's just all about hurling, and that's it. You just forget about it.
Well done, gentlemen. Kevin Martin, Brian Whelan, a big round of applause for two fine Offaly players. And back to you, Ger.
Thanks, Marty. Yes, two more stars of the Offaly performance this afternoon with us now. Goalkeeper Stephen Byrne and Joe Erity as well. Kevin was talking about nerves there, Stephen. You're the last line of defence. One mistake, and you know where the blame goes. Were you nervous?
No, it wasn't too bad, Ger. As I said, we got over the 3 Clare games, and I think if you didn't feel pressure in them games, you know, you'd be under pressure, you know.
There's a refugee from Clare in here somewhere.
Must be. Fair play to you, fair play to you.
That final match, that day in Semple Stadium, those 3 fantastic saves, they must have done your confidence a power of good.
Yeah, it went well, Ger, and everyone was talking about it, but today was an important day, and as I said, as long as I had a steady game and the lads played well, that was the difference, like, you know, we won that Ireland.
You played with great confidence, all of you.
Yeah, well, as Kevin said, like, the lads were calm going into the game, and of course you have to have nerves, like, you know, if you didn't have nerves you wouldn't be right. And I think once the ball is thrown in, the boys got stuck in and everything went well.
Well, you have a 100% record, 1 All-Ireland senior final played in, 1 medal. Well done. Congratulations. Joe Erity's here as well. I heard Marty interviewing you this afternoon saying, you know, you used to be the full-back, but now you're enjoying life up among the forwards and getting all those goals.
Yeah, I go to the back line there to try and get away from Brian Whelan. He was always giving out. And then they move him up in the forward line, so you can't really win today, could you? Still giving out.
Your goal, we saw it again there, and there was a huge reaction here in Juries tonight when that went in. You really drove through that defence.
Yeah, well, I just saw an opening and just went for it, and luckily enough, when I did fall back and hit it, it did go into the net, and I think from there on, everything went well for us, and we piled on the pressure.
Ah, yeah, there's a band rehearsing here. Not bad at all, not bad. Let's go back to the studio. We'll be back here for the announcement of the man of the match a little bit later on.
For one horrible second, I thought Ger was actually going to sing there. Well, indeed, back here in the studio, it's time to announce our man of the match from this year's final. Now, one winner, as I told you earlier on, receives his and hers watches plus our Waterford Crystal Trophy. And Cyril Farrell, you were going to announce who the man of the match is.
Yeah, like you could give it to a lot of people on the Offaly team and the management team. You could give it to everyone. But to me, I have the great pleasure, I think, of giving the man of the match to the best player in Ireland at the moment. And I hope the All-Star selectors this year, I don't mind where they pick him, wing back, wing forward, full forward, I don't mind. I can give him 2 All-Stars, but to me, Brian Whelan is man of the match without a shadow of a doubt. Fantastic player, fantastic hurler, had a great year, and like the skill. He had goal line clearances, he set up points, he got goals, but his leadership qualities are unbelievable. Like, and he's a great player. He's player of the year as far as I'm concerned.
Cyril Farrell, thank you very much. Our man of the match then from this year's final is indeed one Brian Whelan.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the man of the match for the Sunday game, Brian Whelan. Yes. Congratulations. Just here a second. Please, just stay with us for a second here. I should apologise that the power has gone in the hotel here. We're having sound difficulties. That's our problem here. With me is Michael Whelan, who is from Guinness. He's the sponsorship manager, and he's got something else for you here, because would you like to go to the football final in 2 weeks' time? Well, now you'll be the guests of Guinness's in their corporate box. You'll be driven here, you'll be wined and dined and all the rest of it, and it should be absolutely fantastic. And of course, you've also got your very special his and her watch as well as the Waterford Crystal Trophy here, which is absolutely magnificent. Michael, thank you very much, and that is your other prize. You won the Man of the Match award against some very stiff competition. I mean, you know, Kevin Martin, Stephen Byrne, they were all superb today.
That's right, Chair. You know, I definitely didn't expect this. You know, I feel you have to hurl throughout the hour, and I think the men you just mentioned, and Michael here beside me, Michael Dignan, like, he made wing back look his own today, you know.
They were heroes all, obviously, yes. I should have asked you at the outset about the flu. Did you feel very weak going out there today?
No, it wasn't too bad. No, I woke up yesterday morning not feeling too well, and I think last night sort of, You know, I was going to go to work. I usually go to work the night before a game, and
Make a few bob.
yeah, like summer wasn't great, and no.
Just one little question before we let you sit down and enjoy the rest of your evening. Now, you know, the All-Stars are going to be coming up, and you're a hot candidate, but I'm just trying to figure out, are you going to be at wing-back or full forward?
Well, the last time I got one of these, the night of our Ireland in '94, I didn't get one at all, so if one comes along...
Ladies and gentlemen, the Sunday Games man of the match for the hurling final, it's Brian Whelan.
Yeah, well done once again to Brian. Now, before we close in the programme tonight, Cyril Farr, just looking overall at the championship this year, I mean, I suppose it's overstating it at this point, but it was an amazing summer.
Well, it's an historic year in the sense that it's the first time, say, that a beaten Leinster finalists have actually, you know, won the All-Ireland, and I suppose it's tough looking Kilkenny that they're the ones that have lost out. But like, I think it has been a fantastic year for hurling and a great year for Offaly hurling. We had some great teams coming through, like Waterford was the year they had a great campaign. Like Kilkenny had a good campaign, Clare had a good campaign. I know they'll be disappointed, but they had a great campaign, and like Offaly, fantastic team. To me, that's the best Offaly team that I've seen. Like, and they reserved the best wine to last. But like, it has been a great year for hurling, and like, you know, I can't see the new system. It just got 2 years. It'll definitely be held on, the new system. Now they might revamp it other ways, but most of that will be held on for the foreseeable future.
OK, well, that then brings us to a close in our coverage of this year's hurling final, but not quite the hurling championship, because next weekend we're back live with the All-Ireland Under-21 final between Galway and Cork. The two men here will be looking forward to that. And you can